Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto was summoned by the death god Shinigami in Bleach. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by John49357 and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Death upon Gods, Hades. Prologue. Well, Kushina, it doesn't seem like we will get the chance to watch our boy grow up into the fine man we expect him to be, gasps the Yondaime Hokage with a claw lodged in his and his wife's stomach mere inches away from their bundle of joy. This claw is attached to none other than the nine-tailed fox, which despite being sat on by the boss toad summoned Gamabunta shows little sign of relenting from its rampage. As usual, you are right, Minato. At least we could keep him safe. I take it you must do that jutsu, right? Murmurs Kushina as blood drips from her mouth and stomach wound. Yes, I going to summon the Lord of Death, himself, the Shinigami, in order to properly seal this beast away. I know our son can handle the burden. The Sandaime can take care of the village and keep them from bothering our son, says the Yondaime, Minato Namikaze, as he runs through the hand signs for the sealing technique. Those idiots better not mess with my baby, or I will come back and haunt them for eternity, fumes Kushina as her chakra chains spring out of her back and wrap around the Kyuubi to hold it in place. Seeing her husband's swift procession through the hand sign, she makes one request. Minato, please, I know firsthand just how hard to control the Kyuubi's chakra is. Give our son the Yin portion and remove the Yang from this world. I can see your point. I'll do it, and add another failsafe to the seal to strengthen it. Hopefully the Shinigami won't destroy me for borrowing its power, chuckles Minato, attempting to put his wife and himself at ease. I'm ready, honey, make sure the beast can't interfere. Right. Cries Kushina as her chains tighten further around the giant fox. Dead demon consuming seal. As the young Hokage speaks the words, the time seems to freeze and the world takes on a grayscale appearance excluding him and the Kyuubi. Feeling a chill at his back, Minato cranes his neck as best he can to take in the towering form behind him. Reaper is an apt name for the form of the being behind him with its purple skin, beige hair and white robes. Horns, black fangs and eyes. Fangs give the deity quite the fearsome appearance. It holds red prayer beads in its left hand and when compared to its large size, tanto in its mouth. Its beige hair grows out, and clings to both the Kyuubi and Hokage. Minato feels a chill down to his very soul as blue energy flows out of it, takes his shape crucified before the Shinigami. The being raises its left hand before plunging it into Minato's back and out his belly to grab the Kyuubi about its neck. Pulling its hand back, a light spectral form of Kyuubi comes back with the retracting hand, though it struggles to maintain its connection with its whole self. There is little the beast can do against the literal god before it. The hand floats upward holding the souls of the two being above both their physical bodies. The Shinigami uses its right hand to take the tanto from its mouth and raises the blade high. Slashing horizontally, the deity severs the energy connecting the souls to their bodies before inhaling them into his stomach. The Kyuubi's form begins to shrivel, its face gaunt. While this was happening, the Yondaime attempts to grab a hair from the Shinigami before its form could disappear. Upon touching it with his hand, a deeper chill envelopes his body as voice resounds in his head. Human, do you take me for a fool? Do you think you are the first to try to steal my power? Many before you have tried, and I have watched and laughed as their bodies suffered agony beyond their comprehension, deed or deed, but know this. All the suffering the child experiences shall be multiplied tenfold onto you from now till eternity for your arrogance. Boomed the voice. Stealing his nerves, Minato pulls on the strand of hair still connected to his shoulder. I accept any punishment you deem fit, Lord Shinigami, but I still need your help to protect my son. With one final heave, the Hokage yaks a single hair from the deity. So be it, mortal, whispers the voice as color returns to the world. With the Kyuubi weakened, Kushina chains and Gamabunta are able to pull the claw out of the wounded parents' stomachs. Knowing he has little time left, Minato hobbles to his son and summons the ceremonial throne necessary for the upcoming sealing. Using the blood from his wound, the Yondaime draws the array on his son's belly. The child laughs at the tickling sensation, triggering Minato to smile, too. Upon finishing the seal array, Minato holds up the hair he had been clutching in his left hand. Sensing, ever so slightly, the ancient power within it, he carefully places the hair of the in a circle around the spiral which makes up the inner portion of the seal. As if aware of the power placed on him, the babe becomes stock still. Minato, what is that? Asks his wife as she struggles to maintain control over the enraged-tailed beast. The hair of the death, itself, replies Minato plainly. Now is not the time for one of your jokes, idiot, screams back Kushina. We needed an insurance policy to make sure the fox cannot consume our son. What better way to reinforce the seal than with the powers of a god? says the Hokage, hoping to calm down his irate wife. I don't have the words or the freedom of movement to express just how pissed I am at you right now. I should have known you had a god complex when you named your signature move the Flying Thunder God. If my baby ends up hurt, the Shinigami, himself, won't save you from my wrath, screams out Kushina as her hair floats around her head as if having a life of its own. Trust me on this one, honey, it's for the best. Now send me a chakra chain, Gambun, to move out of the way, says Minato, choosing not to argue in his final moments. Without a word, Kushina sent a thin chain towards the yondaime, and their son, grabbing it with his right hand, he put a bit of his chakra into the chain, and hold it over the center of spiral. I know you will make me proud, Naruto. 8 trigram sealing technique. A great light consumes all within the clearing. 5 years later, it is night time in the village hidden in the leaves, Konohagakure. Everyone is getting ready for sleep after another day of hard work, and in today's case celebration. Earlier that day, a festival celebrating the defeat of the Kyuubi no Yoko took place. It had been a giant 9-tailed demon fox that had nearly destroyed the village. Thankfully, the Yondaime Hokage had been able to stop the beast. Sadly, the victory cost him his life. Their beloved Kage is among many who died that day, leaving behind many more mourners. Some of these people could not let go of their grief even 5 years later. They desire an outlet for their pain, and they find one in the form of a 5-year-old boy with blonde spiky hair and whisker marks on each of his cheeks. They could not overtly express their ire due to the Sandaime's law providing protection for the lad. They often resorted to ignoring the child. Every opportunity allowed to goal had been to isolate the creature, to show it that it didn't belong in their village. However, tonight, with liquid courage to bolster their raging emotions, darker feelings come to the surface, namely hate. Pure unfiltered hate for the Kyuubi's continued existence raises in a select few in the village. A collection of ninja decide to make it their duty to hunt the little menace down and finish what their yondaime started all those years ago. This little boy is none other than Naruto Uzumaki. Though he doesn't know it, he is the container of Kyuubi. Despite this ignorance, he runs for his life from the mob of angry villagers. He always wishes he knew why the villagers despise him so much, especially on his looks of indifference always hurt as though he doesn't belong here. But Konoha is the only place he's ever known. He even made a wish to finally get attention when he blew out his birthday candle this morning with the old man Hokage. So much for a happy birthday wish. Did I do it wrong? Naruto thinks to himself bitterly as he rounds another corner, hoping to lose the crowd behind him. He just wants an end to the glares, for someone to smile because he was there. Simply put, he wants a friend. He wants his dreams to be full of smiles and laughter from playing together with that special person, not the cold, uncaring, and dismissive eyes that fill his nightmares now. He, however, would gladly take those old looks over the hate-filled glares directed at him on this night. It is what triggered him to start running in the first place. As he runs, he cannot but think about how poorly named Happy Birthday is. As little Naruto runs for his life, deep within his body, something lies in wait in his mind. This being has been wanting to meet his other self for a long time now, and something tells him his time would come quite soon. Time skip 3 hours later. After hours of running, ducking, and temporary hiding, Naruto makes a wrong turn, resulting in him facing a walled-off corridor. He turns around only to see his pursuers blocking off his escape route. The 40 villagers and 5 ninja all seem to be leaking killing intent him for some reason. The new hate-filled look is present on each person's face. This is definitely not what he wished for when he blew out his birthday cake candles this morning. He tries to remember any recent action that could have caused the reaction from the villagers. Finding no answer in his mind, he left with only one option, asking, "What have I done? Please leave me alone. I didn't do anything to you," cries out Naruto as the villagers and ninjas close in on him with knives and kunai in hand. "Why should we? You didn't leave us alone 5 years ago, when you nearly destroyed our village and took our leader. It's time to avenge our fallen. You will pay for your sins with your life, demon," says one of the villagers before lunges forward knife in hand, and slashes Naruto across his eyes. Screaming while clutching his face, Naruto could barely focus on the cheers coming from the crowd. He did feel the punches, kicks, and stabs that follow. Naruto cries as he feels himself losing consciousness. One thought on his mind: am I going to die here alone in the dark? Naruto's Mindscape. Naruto wakes up in what looks to be a sewer tunnel, but the sight is unfamiliar to him. Where am I? I want to go home. Little Naruto stops himself from finishing his thought. Could he really think of Konoha as home since the village doesn't treat him well? Initially it wasn't really bad, just uncaring of him except for a few great people like old man Hokage. I am Ichiraku and her father, Tuchi, at the ramen stand. Naruto frowns as thinks hard about any other person that had shown him a kindness in the past. Realizing there is no one, Naruto sits against the tunnel wall and buries his head in his knees. While he is thankful for those that did care, It is not enough stave off the hurt because in truth he has no friends, family or home of his own. Naruto almost laughs as a realization hits him. It doesn't even matter now, I'm dead. Some birthday present, I ask for someone to notice me, and I get killed. I wish God wouldn't mess with me. Then come to me, little Naruto, says a voice coming from Naruto's left. Looking up quickly and turning towards the voice, Naruto sees a dark hallway with a stone archway completely different from the sewer tunnel he had been in. Believing it may be a way out, he walks down the hall. After a bit of walking, Naruto finds himself somewhere he never in his short life thought he would get the chance to see, a grand palace made of stone. As he walks around in the grand structure he sees statues, fountains, lush gardens, and even mosaics. He remembers reading that places like this existing a long time ago in few books he borrowed from the old man. The books did not prepare him for the sight before him. A dark gray-colored, stone sanctuary stands at the center of the palace. His curiosity increases the more he sees, so he ventures into the building, wondering if anyone actually lives here. Before too long, Naruto finds himself in a chamber that looks to be a throne room or something of the like. The room floor appears to be lined with a reflective black marble, and new statues. These are different than the ones outside, as some of them depict the image of people that Naruto knows, the Ikarakus with a bowl of ramen in hand, the Sandaime with his pipe and a wise smile on his lips. Even that crazy cat that scratched up the face of a former bully of his is here the room. Before he can ponder about the other features of the room, Naruto's eyes land on the sole other occupant in the room. In person, a man appears to be sitting on a well-cushioned, high-backed chair, and seems to be patiently waiting for Naruto if the fist on his cheek is any indication. His long, black hair provides a sharp contrast once compared to his pale skin, which looks as if he left the sanctuary as often as the statues that line the room. But it still somehow has a healthy look to it. Stunning black robes with embroideries of white and gold cover his body down to his ankles, which have odd leather straps that crisscross themselves before attaching to black sandals on his feet. His face looks like it had been carved from the same material as the statues around the structure, being smooth, angular, and lacking any semblance of baby fat. H's face carries an air of detached regality that is far beyond any person he's ever met, all of which is amplified by the white crown that sits on his head. It is as though this person is a god-given human form. Even though this being's eyes are closed, Naruto still felt it knew he is here. Naruto notices the man open his eyes to look at him. A smile stretches across the man's face as if this person is happy to see him or something. Finally, after so long, I finally get to meet you, Naruto, says the person while still holding his smile. Naruto, confused at the person's words, asks, Jay, just who are you? Where are we? What do you mean you've been waiting to see me for a long time? Is that why I had to die? Are you the god that's supposed to watch over me in the afterlife? Ah, where are my manners? My name is, says the person. Naruto couldn't hear his name. It was like he had become deaf for a moment. What was that? I couldn't hear your name, please repeat yourself. Is this some kind of trick? Says the blonde boy, ready to run away from the person at the slightest indication of trouble. The being lifts his hand to stop Naruto's flight. Aren't you full of questions? But I don't blame you. This is not a trick, Naruto. You can't hear my name right now because you're not strong enough and don't fit the conditions I require. We are in your mind. I am your Zanpakuto, a soul slayer. I also happen to be your weapon spirit. You see, Naruto, you and I are part of each other. Specifically, I am a part of you, so I want to protect you from harm. Anyway, I am not a god sent to watch over you in death unto eternity, though you're not radically far off in that claim. It's kind of hard to watch over you in the afterlife when you're not dead, says the person. Naruto nods his head as he does his best to understand everything that the spirit is saying, mostly catching the fact that the being is on his side and that he isn't dead. Once you hear my full name, you will be able to use Shurikai, which will unleash some of our power. After you've mastered me, you will then learn Bankai to grow even stronger. There is also one thing you should know though, normally only the Shinigami is able to use Zanpakuto. But since you have spiritual powers thanks to certain circumstances, you will be able to use me. Now let the test begin, says Naruto's Zanpakuto as he stands to his feet, showing his impressive height of being well over 7 feet tall. The spirit snaps his fingers and many doors appear out of nowhere around the chamber. There are hundreds of them circling around the throne room, even along the high dome ceiling. He snaps his fingers again and the doors stop moving. Now, Naruto, your test is to find me in my sword form. Good luck and start looking because the clock is ticking. I'll give you one clue, calm yourself. For in calm, there is clarity, says the spirit before it disappears into a black cloud, leaving Naruto to start the test. Naruto starts opening random doors hoping to find his Zanpakuto, but stops to the fact he is getting really annoyed with his failures. He tries to calm down like his Zanpakuto said. While he calms down, ribbons suddenly appear out of nowhere around Naruto. He opens his eyes and is startled upon seeing them all white ribbons, but he notices that each is connected to a door. Looking around, he sees a lonely red ribbon, so he reaches out for it. All the ribbons disappear except the red one. He follows the ribbon till it leads to a door handle. Naruto turns it, hoping it's not a trap. A great red slit eye glares back at Naruto after he opens the door. I see you found me, human. Expect no mercy from me. I will feast on your. The entity never gets the chance to finish its threat before Naruto slams the door shut, breathing heavily while clutching his chest. Wrong door, pants out Naruto, shaking off his fear. Naruto thinks to himself, come on Naruto, focus. The chant helps as the ribbons appear once again. Noticing the lone black ribbon on the ground, grabs it as to remind him of the spirit. Following the ribbon, he sees that it is leading him to a 10-foot-tall statue within the sanctuary that resembles the being he just met. The eyes of the statue stares down at Naruto with a look he had come to easily recognize and dislike when directed at him, one of cold detachment and aloofness. Though he knew it wasn't alive, the staring still unnerves him. While looking for an entrance to continue his journey, Naruto reads an inscription written at the base of the statue. Before the might of death, all are made equal. All bow when faced with oblivion. Fear not the void, for in its calm ye may yet find peace. Seeing that the ribbon lead him to the statue and inscription, Naruto figures that the inscription must be a clue. Looking around the statue again for anything that might be a doorway, Naruto has trouble finding anything that stands out. His search is cut short by a loud banging. Looking around, Naruto turns his attention to the large wooden door that he walked through in order to enter the throne room. He jumps as he sees a black skeletal hand smash through the wood. Another cracking sound makes itself known as an actual skull launches through the door a little above the hand. The sockets of the ebony skeleton hold a subtle red glow as they scan the room looking for their target. Upon spotting Naruto, the skull snaps its jaws at him and struggles to break free of the door. Realizing that indeed time is short, Naruto redoubles his efforts in searching for a way out of the chamber. Checking the ribbon again, he notices that it leads just above the inscription on the pedestal but under the statue's robes. The gap is just his size, and Naruto, spurred by the increase of the sounds of cracking wood, scampers into the crawl space. With no room to lift his head, Naruto uses the ribbon as his guide to move forth. He makes out the faint noise of the door finally collapsing, and thanks his lucky stars for getting out of the room in time. However, the further he crawls, the darker the environment gets. Eventual only light Naruto sees is the faint azure glow that comes from the ribbon in front of his face. After what seems like hours of crawling, Naruto finally arrives at a silver door with the ribbon passing through the keyhole. The problem with the situation is that Naruto is still face down crawling with the door under him. Gulping down the lump in his throat, Naruto makes his way to the doorknob and turns it. Under his weight the door immediately opens, making Naruto fall through it. Rather than plummeting to his doom, Naruto steps into a room completely upright. Taking a moment to take in the features of the room, Naruto sees he is in what looks to be a grassy meadow at night time. The sole object in the field is an okatana on a stone mantle with strange letters written on the stand that he could not read. He walks up to and tries to pull the sword off the mantle, but it doesn't move. He decides to use all the strength he has in his small body, then suddenly blue chakra appears bursting from his body. Heavy, gray storm clouds appear above the meadow and shoot lightning all around him. Still he tries to pick up the sword. The earth shakes and cracks as slivery souls float out of the cracks and whisper the hateful words of the villagers into his ears about his worthlessness. Shaking his head to ignore them, Naruto blows the spirits back a little as more chakra pours out of his body like a bonfire. That's it, Naruto, don't give up, don't let paltry fear stop you, don't let feeble humans stop you, don't even let the arrogant gods from above stop you from getting what you truly want, what is rightfully yours, says the disembodied voice of his Zanpakuto as Naruto's blue chakra starts changing into a different color, pure black, along with his hair which straightens and lengthens to his mid-back. Naruto, listen to me, you are now strong enough to hear my name, now, repeat my words and show the world your power, says the Zanpakuto spirit, while the little blonde boy nods, still holding on to the sword on the mantle. Repeating his Zanpakuto's word, Naruto says, come forth, true ruler of souls, the harbinger of extinction, and reaper from the void, bring death to all, both man and god, Hades. By the time his words finish, the sword glows as it slowly comes off the stone mantle. Real world. The villagers and ninja jump back at seeing pure black chakra suddenly burst out of the boy's body. Some think the fox has shown its true colors, while some fear they have unleashed something they should have left dormant. The black chakra starts covering Naruto like a cocoon. The ninja try using their weapons to crack the cocoon so that they could kill Naruto before whatever is happening reaches fruition, to no avail. They prepare to switch to jutsu, but stop when they feel a sudden pulse of energy. The cocoon cracks and shatters open. showing a completely different Naruto with the appearance he gained in his Mindscape. His skin appears paler than before and the signature whiskers are gone from his cheeks. He stands a little taller due to the transformation and holds a katana that wasn't in his possession before. Naruto grabs the sword's handle at his eye level and says, "Bring death to all, both man and god, Hades." A dark light explodes forth from the child and covers every villager and ninja as the dark light blasts into night sky. The whole village hears the screams of dozens of people. From that point on, the life of Naruto Uzumaki would never be the same forever, and neither would the world, for good or evil. Only the future could tell. Chapter 1. Standing alone in the darkness, founding the light. It's been 5 years now since that fateful night where he had met his Zanpakuto and had killed 75 villagers and 35 ninja. He doesn't remember killing them in the first place, only that mysterious, dark light, and that's about it. Now over the past 5 years, Naruto changed drastically. From the small bundle of sunshine wore his emotions on his sleeve. Naruto had become distant from everyone and didn't even bother attempting to make any friends anymore due to the incident a year after the unleashing his Zanpakuto. He was admitted the academy by the third Hokage in order to become a ninja of the village, and in the hopes that Naruto would make friends of his own age. However, this venture seemed to fail due to Naruto's cold personality. An unexpected result of Naruto's change was his increased popularity with the academy's fandom population. The current split was 55% to 45% in his favor between him and the lone survivor of the Uchiha massacre, a boy named Sasuke. Let us now join Naruto, who going through another day at the Ninja Academy, sitting down looking at the window in boredom and trying to ignore the fangirls who are trying to impress him. The most popular way was by having him try their cooking, but the first time a girl did that to Naruto, he gave in and tried the food she made. Within seconds of his taking a bite, he gave it back to her and told her that her cooking was terrible, and he'd never eat her cooking again. Needless to say, the girl ran home in tears. That was last year, and ever since all the girls that like him tried to get him to eat their cooking, but he always says no. Today Naruto is wearing his usual attire, a black shirt, umbu pants with black bandages covering his eyes and his hands up to wrists. His new black hair is slightly longer than when he was little, as it barely reached his shoulders, and he's the tallest kid in class at 5 foot to the bandages. No one in his class has ever seen his eyes, but the imagination of fangirls is something of legend. Thanks to local gossip, many citizens in Konoha think Naruto has scars over his eyes from a fight against a bear or a wolf. Though some of the older civilians think a villager finally got to a little revenge against the demon back to the academy, we see Iruka, the Chunin sensei of Naruto's generation, beginning roll call. "Ino Yamanaka?" said Iruka as he looks up at the class. Here yells Ino, a blonde-haired girl with long ponytail that reached halfway to down her back. As she raises her hand up and waves it frantically, Iruka smiled at the blonde girl. "Okay Ino, calm down. Now, Shikamaru Nara?" said Iruka as he looks around only to see said boy sleeping at the moment. Annoyed, Iruka throws one of his history books at the sleeping, pineapple-haired student. "Shikamaru, wake up now!" yelled Iruka as the book hits the sleeping Nara on the head right in the face. "Huh!" was all Shikamaru said as he rubbed his forehead. "Oh yeah, here," he mumbled before going back to sleep as though nothing happened. Why can't this kid stay awake? He training to be a ninja for Kami's sake, thought Iruka with a sweat drop as he continued with the roll call. "Sakura Haruno?" said Iruka as he noticed the pink-haired girl having another fight with Ino over which one would win Sasuke's heart. Deciding to nip the fight at the bud, Iruka used his famous big head jutsu. "Cut it out, the both of you," yelled Iruka as he tries to get the class quiet, scaring the hell out of everyone except Naruto. "Sorry Iruka-sensei," said the two girls as they bow their heads in shame and fear. "Good. Now where was I?" "Oh yes, Shino Aburame?" said Iruka as he see a nods from the boy. "Dark hair, a tan trench coat, sunglasses." "Kiba Inuzuka?" said Iruka as he heard a bark from a puppy who resting on a boy's head who has red fawn-like markings on his cheeks. "You forgot Akamaru." "Sensei," said Kiba, slightly upset at the small oversight. "Oh right, sorry Akamaru," said Iruka as he heard Akamaru bark enthusiastically. "Akamaru says it's okay Iruka-sense," Kid translated for his companion. Nodding, Iruka moves on. "Choji Akimichi?" All Iruka hears is munching. "Choji, how many times have I told you? No eating in class," yells Iruka as he looks at the large boy sitting next to Shikamaru, his best friend. "Sorry, sensei. I miss breakfast," said Choji as he eats more of the chips that he brought with him. "Fine Choji, just this once, okay?" relents Iruka as Choji eats happy. "Let's see now." "Hinata and Hanabi Hyuga," says Iruka as the two sit below of Naruto. "Here," said Hinata, a shy girl with short, blue hair. "Me too," said Hanabi, Hinata's younger, more confident sister. "Sasuke Uchiha?" said Iruka while covering his ear when a few of Sasuke's fangirls scream out his name. Hump, was last Uchiha's short response. Iruka sighed. And finally Naruto Wamaki, says Iruka as he cover his ears again as harder screaming caused by Naruto's larger, more rabid group of fangirls. To this day, Sasuke is thankful to Kami for that. Naruto didn't show any sign that he cared, choosing instead to just look at his sensei who said his name. Yeah, I'm here, Naruto finally said before going back to looking at the window. Iruka doesn't really blame him for being so cold. After all, what happened 5 years ago wasn't something you can shake off and continue smiling as though nothing happened. With that thought in mind, Iruka finishes the roll call and begins the day's lesson, a review of the history of the Hokages. How nice, more pointless history, thought all of the students except the time the lunch rolled around everyone rushed outside. Sasuke disappeared from his seat. Within seconds Sasuke's fangirls were after him. Though Naruto's fangirls looked for him, he was nowhere to be found. They didn't even bother checking a tree where Naruto is sitting and eating. I'll never understand why they try to impress me with their looks and cooking, which they are bad at anyway. Sigh, I'm glad that Hinata and Hanabi aren't my fangirls since they worked more on their skills than they looks, thought of Naruto, while Hades started talking to him. Naruto, why don't you send these fangirls of yours to the deepest parts of the underworld? The more you send them there the better you can focus on your training, said the former ruler of Hell as he gives ideas to Naruto to rip out the souls of his fangirls. You don't know how much I want to do that, but I still need more training in controlling Shirkai before that's even possible, Hades thought. Naruto. He didn't hear anything response. Hades? Must be working on something. Hades was always looking for way to improve him, so he lets it go, and continues eating. Deeper part of Naruto's mind. Hades can be seen walking down a hallway with water on the floor and pipes lining the wall glowing 3 distinct colors, blue, red, and black. Reaching the end of sewer, he walks towards a huge gate with a paper seal in the middle of it. As he looked in the darkness behind the cage, 2 pairs of giant red eyes stared back. These eyes belong to none other than one and only 9-tailed fox, the Bijukubi. So you have come again, Hades. Are you going to finally release me so that I can be free to destroy this cursed village, says the hopeful demon fox as he becomes restless at the thought of his release. No, you sad little fox. I will not release, for you will to be forgotten soon enough. Why? What are you talking about? Why, you ask? Well, my dear fox, when Naruto fully masters our power that is so great that earth will tremble and the sky torn asunder, he be strong enough to make gods, mortals, and demons alike bow before his might. At that stage he could make your destructive rampage in this world look like the pathetic tantrum of a spoiled child. All you can do is watch as all that death, blood, and fear is caused without your help. You will be forgotten, said Hades. He spoke the truth, for the fox was so deep in Naruto's mind he could even communicate with Naruto if he tried. He was condemned to only see what Naruto sees and nothing more, a spectator for eternity. That didn't sit well in Kyuubi's mind. You bastard, when I get free from this hellhole, I'm coming after you and Brat. I'll make you wish you had never existed, yelled the fox, eyes promising nothing but pain and death to both of Naruto and Hades when he breaks free. Hades just smiles at the Kyuubi's idle threat, knowing full well that the fox knew he couldn't get out. Hades turns and walks away from the fox, leaving a few parting words. Go ahead and try, but your power will never reach Naruto's no matter how hard you tried. You will be forgotten. With those last words, Hades disappears into the dark, leaving behind an enraged and terrified fox demon who could do nothing except roar meaningless curses at the empty hallway. Outside of Naruto's Mindscape. Naruto had finished his lunch and waiting for the bell to ring, so he could return to class. While he was waiting, he decides to take a small nap in the tree and dreams of a world where he is floating in darkness. Oddly, in this world, he could see that it wasn't just an empty void, but rather a flow of shapeless mass that danced to the rhythm of his mind. This flow shifts under his feet, caresses his skin, and ruffles his hair. He felt at peace here as he let the darkness envelop him, and was content to just stand in one spot, not wanting to move or do anything that might disturb this sense of tranquility. Unknown to the sleeping Naruto, a certain 2 Hyuga twins sat under him eating. They launch while they talk about the object of their shared interest. I wonder where Naruto is. No one has seen him since he up and disappeared when lunch began, said Hinata to her twin sister, though one would merely think of them as normal due to the fact that they don't look that much alike. Like, I care about him. He's cold, distant from everyone, but kind to animals and we like him, completed Hinata as she and Hanabi were blushing at the truth. They both really like Naruto, but they keep the crush a secret to everyone but themselves. They quickly suppress their blushes. Everyone is going to find that we like him, aren't they, Hinata? Sighs Hanabi. I don't know, Hanabi. Maybe not if we're careful, but I don't know, says Hinata as she plays with her fingers. While Hanabi and Hinata are talking, the object of their conversation wakes up and looks down at them and ponders on what they are talking about, before deciding to give in his curiosity, and eavesdrops on them. Hinata, do you think that Naruto would like our cooking? I mean, mother did teach us how, says Hanabi as she tries to not talk about too much of their mother who passed away a few years ago. I hope so, Hanabi. If he doesn't like our cooking, then we tried our best, said Hinata as she smiles, knowing that if Naruto didn't like the cooking, then he's not worth their time. It would be hard at first, but they'd move on. What they didn't know that Naruto is listening to everything the two were saying. Well, that's different. Normally I don't hear girls that give me their cooking say they were taught by their mothers or even their fathers at the very least, thought Naruto with his face turning slightly green. I don't understand how they think it's okay for their supposed food to still be moving after they're done cooking it. Hanabi and Hinata seemed sad when Hanabi mentioned their mother. Did something happen? Lady Hinata and Lady Hanabi still haven't gotten over Aunt's death. It has been 6 years, said the male Hyuga, who was walking towards the twins with a girl who tied her hair in buns on each side of her head. Come on, Niji, go easy on them. I feel sorry for them, said the girl with the buns as she looking at the Hyuga boy. Quiet, Tenten. Let the main branch brats speak for themselves if they have something to say about their pathetic mother, retorted Niji. Naruto had heard enough and started to feel bad for the twins, so he decides to make his presence known. He jumps out of the tree and lands in front of the Hyuga sisters, surprising the two and Naruto. Hinata stutters while Hanabi starts wonder was he listening on them while they were talking. Naruto looks at them and lifts his right hand. May I please try some of your cooking, Hinata? Hanabi said Naruto out loud so everyone could hear him. Did Naruto just ask the Hyuga girls to try their cooking? Said one of the stunned students while Naruto's fangirls flew into a blind rage at them. I bet it will taste so bad that Naruto will hate them after eating it, yelled the spiteful fangirl while the rest of the fangirls nodded in agreement, hoping the twins don't win Naruto's heart and win the war. Both Hinata and Hanabi gladly gave a piece of their lunch, since he asked so nicely. Here stutters. Hinata gives Naruto a little bit of her sushi while Hanabi give him a beef egg roll that she made herself. Naruto takes a bite of the two dishes while everyone stares at him in anticipation. After swallowing the food, Naruto froze, making Hinata too and Hanabi think that he didn't like the cooking. But before they walk away in shame, Naruto spoke up. It's good. It's really good, says Naruto with a smile as he walks away. You two are really great cooks, Hinata. Hanabi. The bell rings, but no one moves due to the shock that Naruto the cold-hearted, liked the twins' cooking. They get knocked out of their stupor when they hear yelling. It wasn't just any yelling. No, it was the screeching of dozens of Naruto fangirls. The sound from the screaming traveled through the village like an unstoppable tidal wave, shattering every glass object it met along the way. No. It can't be true. Naruto-sama, our dark-haired prince, likes their cooking. They're their garbage. They've stolen his heart, said one of the fangirls. And really, just how deadly are fangirls anyway? The fangirls continued their ranting. Meanwhile, everyone else ignored them and started walking back to class. Listen here, you started the fangirl, ready to attack the focus of their ire. But the words died in their throat as both Hinata and Hanabi had gone to class as well. With no one there to listen to the fangirls raced back to class to avoid being scolded by Irika. That evening, all the students can be seen leaving the academy and walking to their homes where their loving families. Naruto, on the other hand, walks toward the forest oblivious to the fact that he had two new shadows. Hinata and Hanabi are following stalking him to the same place that he's going. As Naruto enters the forest, he immediately starts training. Choosing to focus on ninjutsu that day, he flies through hand signs before screaming out the name of his attack fire style. Fireball no jutsu, yelled Naruto. While the Hyuga's twins were familiar with the attack as it was commonly used in Konoha, they were still shocked at the appearance of the fireball. They know that normal the fireball is supposed to be a reddish-orange, instead before them was a far more dangerous black fireball. No way, no one has ever fired a black fireball before, whispers Hanabi. While Hinata is speechless awe of what Naruto could do. Hanabi, he's amazing, says Hinata while blushing up a storm. Yeah, he is, but don't faint on me, sister. I doubt I'd be able to carry you home, says Hanabi as the two shared the same thought about how they could be strong like Naruto. Though they have the same goal, they want to be strong for different reasons. Hinata wants to be strong so her father won't call her weak anymore, while Hanabi wants to be strong to protect her sister and friends from anyone unwise enough to attempt to harm them. Snapping out of their daydream, the two realize just how late it is and prepare to run home. Come on, Hinata, let's go. It's late and father will probably be mad at us for being out so late, say Hanabi, clenching her teeth when saying the word father. Hinata understands Hanabi's anger towards their father, as she felt the same way sometimes. After their mother died, Their father became the cold Hyuga clan head, Hyuga, to them, and they missed the way he was before, a caring and loving father. Both Hinata and Hanabi start for home, but to their surprise, they are surrounded by enemy ninjas from the village hidden in the clouds. Their goal was simple: obtain the Hyuga's bloodline. To that end they monitored Hinata and Hanabi for the perfect chance to catch them, since the two, being clan heirs, didn't have the curse marks on them. Looks like we hit the jackpot, boys. Here are two defenseless little Hyugas ripe for the picking, and the clan heirs no less. No curse mark bullsh *T this time, kiddies. Our Raikage has been dying to get his hands on your bloodline. With both of you being female, he might just pay double for this mission, says one of 5 Cloud Jounin. While thinking about the money they'd get, they charged at Hinata and Hanab, completely unaware of a certain black-haired hero not so far away. Naruto come to a halt mid-hand sign as he hears a scream. He was put on edge by how familiar the voices sounded. Focusing on area where he heard the notices the churka of 5 Jounin level signatures and significantly weaker ones that were fading quickly. Someone must be in trouble. Well, I can't just leave them there, says the black-haired boy as he fades from existence in a burst of speed. When Naruto reached his destination, he looked around at the torn-up area. His eyes wandered over the broken branches and burnt grass until they zeroed on a satchel laying by a tree with contents spilled out. Naruto's eyes narrowed as he picked up a familiar bento box, the smell of lavender and sushi being the confirmation. Hinata, the other signature must have been Hanabi. I should have got here sooner. By the looks of this place, I was only a few minutes off. I can still save them, says Naruto before disappearing again following the 5 chakra signatures, making a quick stop at his house to get his Zanpakuto. Hades. Naruto may be a bit cold-hearted, but he still cares about his allies for the time being. That is. 15 minutes later. The 5 Cloud Jounin are racing towards the border of the Fire County while carrying the Hyuga twins and basking in their easiest job to date. We're almost home free, boys, says the leader of the group, while the rest laugh at their victory. Before they can think about what they'll do once back in their own land, a bolt of black lighting flashes in front of them, stopping them in their tracks. They quickly get into a pentagon formation and eye the surrounding forest for any possible ambush angle. That's far enough, Cloud Scum, says a voice, causing the Jounin to focus on the location of the voice only to see a 10-year-old kid with black hair, carrying a sword. And I'm not going to do the details yet since I still haven't decided yet. All 5 Jounin immediately burst out laughing, thinking that it's a joke or something. Oh man, you must be kidding. You are just a brat. I bet you would wet yourself at sight of blood, says one of them while holding his side, making the others laugh even harder. Naruto's eyebrow twitch was the only outward sign of increasing rage. He points his left index and middle finger at the Jounin who made the joke and whispered, Hado number 4, pale lightning. Black lighting larger than before shoots out of his fingers and hits the Cloud Ninja right in the face, burning a hole right through. 1 down, 4 to go, says Naruto as he gets into a basic Kenjutsu stance, choosing not use his incomplete fighting style in case one Jounin gets away and tells their Kage, you think you're big, *SS wiped just because you'd get a lucky shot. Think again, brat, says the biggest guy while the 2 who were carrying the still unconscious twins put them down by a nearby tree so they could fight, too. As the battle went on, Naruto proved that rank was meaningless. He had taken a few hits, but the 4 Jounin were looking much worse, with the big guy losing an arm due to not getting out of the way fast enough, and the others had some pretty bad cuts and burns. They were confused as to how this academy student was keeping pace with 4 Jounin. Was he one of those damn prodigies that Konoha always bragged about? Damn brat, who does he think he is? Said Jounin leader, who was only sporting a few deep cuts along his arms, while the 4 Cloud Jounin prepared to attack Naruto again. He thought about his predicament. He was running low on chakra really fast since he had been enhancing his speed with chakra the entire fight, not to mention the fact that he had been in the middle of training before this whole fiasco started. Damn it. At this rate I will have no choice but to use Shurikai, thinks Naruto, knowing full well that using his Shurikai would be disastrous since he couldn't control its power yet. But he was running out of options. Naruto, I know that you can't control the Shurikai yet, but you have to if you want to save those girls. You know that, said Hades as though he is uncertain what the outcome would be if Naruto unleashed Shurikai now. As Naruto trying to figure out others' ways to defeating the Cloud Nin, one of them launches a jutsu at him, catching off guard. Barely dodging, Naruto is sent flying toward a tree. The success of the attack spurs the Jounin to charge Naruto, leaving Hinata and Hanabi alone. Not so tough now, are you, little? What? Are you tired all of a sudden? Says the huge guy using his only arm to hold up Naruto by the hair. Anyway, last words before I take my time killing you, said the Jounin as the other 3 bring out their kunai and prepare to stab Naruto. While the Jounin talk to Naruto, both Hinata and Hanabi wake up and see Naruto about to get killed. Naruto! Scream the twins, causing Naruto to look at them. Looking into their eyes, he sees that they actually care. Neither of them wants him to be killed because of them. Even as the Cloud Jounin begins slashing him, Naruto is only focused on one thing. They care. They really care about me, unlike those fangirls. They just want me as a damn trophy. That settles it. I will save you, Hinata, Hanabi, thought Naruto as he grabs his Zanpakuto. Bring death to all, both man and god, Hades! Yells Naruto as his body explodes with power. The same bright dark light from 5 years ago erupts from his body, blinding the twins. As their vision returns, they bore witness to death given form. The being that stood before them sent a shiver down their spines, and they weren't the only ones. The 4 Jounin backed away from Naruto as they feel an overwhelming pressure bear down on their very soul. Hinata and Hanabi fainted from the pressure, so they didn't bear witness to the being before them. Naruto Uzumaki was not the same person. Naruto's eyes had inverted. The sclera had become black, and the pupil and iris had become solid white. A faint black flame rested upon his head in the shape of a crown. The same black flames cover his hands and feet. Fangs jutted out over his bottom lip. A black cape rested on his shoulders, under it a black vest and blood-red undershirt. The greatest change had been his sword. Before it had been a simple black katana with a stark white edge, an Ouroboros crossguard, and a pommel wrapped in black cloth. Now, that blade was gone. In its place was a weapon that exuded a feeling of death and despair. The new blade appeared to have only one edge, but the blade had hook-like grooves along the edge and intricate designs made to tear flesh as well as cut. There was no crossguard, and the sword had kept its basic colors from before the transformation. ANC for view of the Shurikai sword. Naruto basked in this newfound power. Amazing, simply amazing. I feel invincible, but I can't lose focus though. I don't know how long I can hold this form, thought Naruto while glaring at the sweating Jounin. Suddenly Naruto disappear, and appear in front of the Jounin with one arm. Grabbing the man's face with a flaming hand, Naruto spoke in a mocking tone. I thought you were going to kill me. Any last words? No? Well then. Give me your soul. Endo e no pasu, path to the end. Other Cloud Jounin could only stare as their friend's body shrivel up and turn to ash before their very eyes, leaving behind only his soul, which was still in Naruto's hands. Perish! Yelled Naruto as his hand lit the soul on fire, filling the forest with the screams of agony from the damned soul. Naruto turned to the 3 remaining Jounin and pointed his sword at them. Your next, Kage no Sogi, Shadow Funeral. With that, the blade of his sword disintegrated into dark matter and rushed towards them. More screams of pain filled the night as a dark light pierced the sky, almost like it was meant to show the world that a new great power was here to change everything. The next day. Thanks to the light show from the previous night, some of the Konoha A and B were sent to investigate, and found the twins and Naruto sleeping in the demolished clearing. They quickly take them back to the village and to the hospital to check for any injuries. The twins were fine with only a few minor bruises, but Naruto had been inflicted with a number of wounds on his arm that would leave some scars even with his increased healing factor. Thanks to that and mild shurika exhaustion, Naruto would have to stay in the hospital for a couple days. At least that's what Hinata and Hanabi thought. At the academy, both Hinata and Hanabi walk into the class before it starts. To their surprise, they see Naruto in the room with bandages warped around his arms while his fangirls are bothering him with questions about his injuries. Some included what had he fought or did he get hurt while training and so on. Naruto never answers any of them, but when he sees Hinata and Hanabi, he gets up and walks over to them. Are you two okay? Did their cloud ninjas did anything to you two? He asks as he look at the twins. No, we fine, but you should be in the hospital. You are really hurt, and don't worry. I'm okay, look, see? Said Naruto, cutting off Hinata as he moves his arms like nothing happened. But you were being stabbed to death just to save us, said Hanabi as she feels bad for what Naruto had to go through just to rescue them. Like I said, don't worry, Hinata-chan, Hanabi-chan. I will always come to your rescue, he says as he takes his new seat in between the two sisters and continues talking to them. As Naruto talks to the Hyuga sister, his fangirls seething in rage while the sister were on cloud 9. He said, Chan, they thought in unison with blushes on their faces. That night at Naruto's apartment. As Naruto goes to sleep, he has that dream again of him standing alone in the dark void. This time, however, 2 bright lights appear behind Naruto. He turns to see both Hinata and Hanabi smiling at him, which makes him smile a true smile for the first time in 5 years. From that point, the rest of the days at the academy were fun for Naruto. After all, he found 2 new friends that he would always protect no matter what. Chapter 2. Graduation Day. It's been 6 years since Naruto saved the Hyuga twins and became really close friends with them. He enjoyed having them around, much to the ire of his fangirls. They held a deep hatred for the twins because they thought that both Hinata and Hanabi stole their dark-haired prince's heart. At the academy, today was special. Today was a day away for the Genin exam, the test students had to pass to start their life within the ranks of Konoha after graduating. Here we found Naruto wearing black cape, a blood-red undershirt, black alba pants, and gauntlets on his arms. A/N think Jin Kazama's gauntlets from Tekken 6, only the top is silver. He still wore bandages over his eyes, and his black hair has grown longer over the past 6 years. Beside him is his Zanpakuto, Hades. Naruto is sitting at his spot under the tree with the swing, looking at a window, waiting for 2 of his very close friends, the Hyuga twins, his only friends at the academy. His fangirls still continue trying to win him back from the twins, but the harder they tried, the more Naruto wants stays with the twins. Speaking of twins, both Hinata and Hanabi can be seen walking into the courtyard. Hinata is wearing a heavy lavender jacket which hid her figure along with black shinobi pants. Her sister, Hanabi, is wearing the similar clothes, but the colors are different. She opted for a beige-colored jacket, and the zipper of Hanabi's jacket is open, showing off a tight, black tank top. Her outfit got a lot's attention from the academy boys, but she only did it so that to get Naruto's attention. A/N. Everyone are in their Shippuden outfits except Naruto. Upon seeing Naruto, the twins walk up to him and smile. "Morning, Naruto, ready for the exam tomorrow?" says Hanabi as she sits on his left while Hinata sits on the right. "You could say that, but I only worry about you too," said Naruto as he smiles at both Hinata and Hanabi, which making the 2 lightly blush. "There's no need to worry, Naruto-kun. We can take care of ourselves," stutters the blushing Hanabi while she looks at her twin sister, whose head starts looking like a tomato at the moment. Naruto laughs a bit while he's seeing Hanabi, who trying to cool down Hinata. They stand up and head to their classroom within the academy building. While entering the building, one of Naruto's fangirls glares at the laughing twins. "Look at them, the Hyuga sluts toying my dark prince with their black magic to make him not seeing his true love," says the fangirl of Naruto, who was very, very jealous of Hinata and Hanabi. "What do you mean true love? Get lost, bitch." "Naruto-kun is my true love," screeched a voice from behind the girl. It belonged to another fangirl equally as jealous as her. Other fangirls of Naruto are attracted to the ruckus and soon start fighting each other over who Naruto belonged to. While the brawl occurred outside, a boy in a gray fur jacket, possessing fangs tattoos on each side of his cheeks, sat in the classroom with his faithful companion, a large white dog. His feral appearance was further exaggerated by the angry look in his eyes. The reason behind his anger was one Naruto Uzumaki, namely his relationship with Hinata. "Damn it, why does Hinata hang around with that dark-haired, cold-hearted fuck?" grumbles Kiba while Akamaru sighs in annoyance at his master. Sitting on the other side of Kiba is Shino Aburame, a quiet person who had a reputation of being a bit creepy due to his long tan trench coat with a high collar and dark sunglasses. Those who knew him knew while quiet he made for a good friend. In fact, he was like a brother to both Hinata and Hanabi. Thus he made it his job to keep Kiba in check, mostly so Kiba doesn't get himself killed by Naruto for being a dumbass. "Kiba, just let it go," started Shino. "You've gotten yourself beaten many times by Naruto. He's a lot stronger than you." Shino spoke the truth, as over the past 6 years Kiba has been hitting on Hinata in order to get her to go out with him, only to get himself beaten the hell by Naruto due to pushing too much. "So? He's just lucky, that's all," retorted Kiba. "Yes, 386 times lucky," responded Shino, as he rolls his eyes behind his shades. This reminder only serves to compound Kiba's anger due to his embarrassment about getting beaten by Naruto so many times. "Tomorrow is my day to outshine that asshole. I will show Hinata that Naruto is nothing more a weakling, and then she'll have no choice but to go out with me this time," says Kiba. He puffed out his chest as his imagination went wild with dreams of defeating Naruto and winning Hinata's love, eventually living happily ever after, at least in his head. "If you die tomorrow, Inuzuka, I want you to know that I'm marrying your sister, Hana, in few years," said Shino in his signature monotone, shocking Kiba with the news. "Why, you asshole? You're telling me this now?" yelled Kiba while the dog boy stares with wide eyes at his friend who just said he's marrying his sister without knowledge. "Well, I telling you this because I know that Naruto will kill you this time for sure," said Shino as he shrugs his shoulders, believing Naruto would kill Kiba for good this time around. "Don't say that, Shino, I'll beat him and then get my trophy this time for sure," said Kiba without noticing the shadow that grew behind him as he waited for Shino's reply, which he never came as he was no longer looking at Kiba. Sure, before Kiba could ask Shino what was wrong, he found himself a sword flash into existence between him and Shino. Gulping with fear upon recognizing the sword, Kiba turns to see Naruto, Hinata and Hanabi standing looking at him with hate-they eyes. Well, Kiba, look like I'm going to have to kill you in the taijutsu part of tomorrow's exam for you to finally learn, huh? Said Naruto coldly while leaking out a fair bit of killing intent. His fangirls swooned for joy, thinking about how cool he looked with bandaged glare and sword held straight out in front of him right next to Kiba's head. And I'm got to ask. Just how dangerous are fangirl? And I do mean it. Answer my question first, get a virtual cookie or a cake. Both Hinata and Hanabi glare at the surrounding fangirls with faces that screamed, leave him alone you harpies, or else. Sure enough, the fangirls back away under the heated glaze of the Hyuga twins. Kiba knows that he's in trouble cause if he does do something so he doesn't look like a fool in front of Hinata, making her view him as a dumbass. And too late for that. Not to mention saving face in front of everyone else in the class. With this in mind, Kiba decides to fight Naruto right there and now. Fine, then we can finally see how much a loser you really are, said Kiba without thinking. He didn't know that only piss off Naruto's fangirls, while Hinata and Hanabi thought of him as an idiot for saying that. Consider his record. Without another word, Naruto, Hinata, and Hanabi go back to their seats while the fangirls proceed to attack Kiba for calling their beloved a loser. The next day at the academy, and it's the day of the exam, and it's in 3 parts: Genjutsu, Ninjutsu and Taijutsu. If a boy has the best score, he should give the title of Rookie of the Year, and same thing with the girls. Now the first part of the exam is the Genjutsu, and some are bad at it while some are great at it. The test was simply enough: break out of a D-rank Genjutsu put on you by the teacher. Some students who weren't capable of freeing themselves within a specific amount of time were given a failing grade. A lot of fangirls were turned into crying messes by this portion of the exam. After everyone was done with the Genjutsu test, the Ninjutsu portion was next. The test was to perform each of the 3 academy ninjutsus: the clone jutsu, the replacement jutsu, and the transformation jutsu. Extra credit was given to those who performed a jutsu from outside these mandatory 3. The best scores were Naruto for executing what would easily qualify as a B-rank jutsu via his sword. Sasuke Uchiha was second place with a C-rank fire jutsu. Coming in second in rage, the emo Uchiha annoyed that lost to a blind fool. Tied for third are Hinata and Hanabi, who both used gentle fists techniques from their clan. The final portion of the exam was to be Taijutsu tournament, which would be separated into 2 groups, one tournament for the boys and other for the girls. The small tournament went on in a predictable fashion. In the boys' tourney, the only fight that stood out were Uchiha Sasuke's, as he had a habit of going out of his way to injury and or embarrass his opponent, who were mostly student from non-shinobi families. Naruto, Shino, and Shikamaru used the least amount of energy to win their bouts, usually with a ring out. Chuji and Kiba, being more heavily geared towards taijutsu, used clan techniques. In the semi-finals, where Naruto, Kiba, Sasuke and Choji had beat Shino after Shikamaru forfeited his match against Naruto. While the male tournament was at least a little interesting, the Kunoichi trainees tournament was an outright boring disaster. Hinata and Hanabi decimated the fangirls that tried to avenge the stolen heart of their idol. The only other ones that made any progress to the semi-finals were Sakura and Ino, though they had a lot more difficulty with their matches thanks to barely being better than the other fangirls in the class. The first fight of the semi-finals were about to begin, and the first 2 to fight were Naruto and Kiba from the male tournament. Everyone was betting on Naruto since he had been demolishing Kiba since starting the academy. He was especially going to destroy Kiba thanks to yesterday's comment from Kiba. This, combined with the evil look in Naruto's eye, means that Kiba was definitely going to die, or maybe one-way trip to a long stay in the hospital. Now the match between Naruto and Kiba is about to begin, says the sensei who was serving as the judge. He had brown hair with scar across his nose and cheeks, and his name is Irika. He and his assistant Mizuki were the referee of the day's matches, cause they know this could get ugly, for Kiba at least. Are you 2 ready? Asks Irika as he lifts his right arm. You bet me and Akamaru will show the dobe who's the real alpha around here, yells Kiba with a smirk, which makes everyone except Naruto's sweat drop at his words. Enough fooling around, Kiba, this time I'm going to be serious, said Naruto, while he reaches for the bandages covering his eyes. Everyone, even Irika and Mizuki, are freaking out because of the fact that this is the first time Naruto has ever taken his bandages off in the academy. Naruto, after taking off his bandages, the scars over his closed eyes are clearly visible. He opens his eyes slowly, showing their true color, a cold blue, which makes all the fangirls scream loudly, so loud they woke the dead literally. At a mysterious hideout in Rice Country, a person who, besides his gray hair, looked only a year or older than the potential genin back in the Leaf Village, could be seen entering a room. He is checking the items around the room that looks much like a laboratory, and a glass jar which contained a hand within it sat on desk in the room. The hand had a simple gold ring with kanji on it. The gray-haired youth suddenly heard a faint screaming, the kind known to come from only one type of heinous species, fangirls. Suddenly the hand in the jar starts to move its fingers, thoroughly freaking out the teen. After the screaming stopped, so did the hand's movements. Shaking his head, the teen walked away, acted like the event didn't happen. Back to the match. Both teachers covered their ears along with the students immediately when the screaming started, while the fangirls have heart-shaped eyes due to finally seeing their dark prince's eyes after for so long. Naruto tosses Hades to both Hinata and Hanabi. Hold my sword for me, this won't take long, said Naruto. Gazes at Kiba with his cold blue eyes. Ready, Irika-sensei. Kiba freezes and froze when he heard Naruto say that he going to be serious. This got him thinking, that means he was never serious in our past fights. If that's the case, why would not use his sword? A/N never said he'd have smart thoughts. He was brought out of his musings when he heard one statement from Irika, Hajime. In a flash, Kiba is airborne, barely he feeling the begins of pain all over his body. What just happened? How did I get airborne? Why does my body feels like that it's in pain? A few of the thoughts of Kiba had while still in the air then. Kijiken, Kaige Jasho, Shadow Fist, Shadow Rising, says Naruto while he vanishes into his own shadow. As Kiba is about to hit the ground, Naruto shoots up from Kiba's shadow and yells out Kage Ras Shu wa Donbito. Shadow Rush beat down. Naruto then proceeds to rain multiple of punches and kicks on Kiba while his extremities were covered in shadowy aura. Kiba and Naruto were floating higher and higher off the ground as the punishment continued. Everyone except Hinata and Hanabi flinched at the beating, thinking Naruto was literally killing Kiba this time around. When the attacks finally stop, Kiba falls down to earth, quickly gaining speed with his descendant. Naruto flies down too, and then Naruto put his feet at Kiba's underarms and grabbing Dog Boy's legs. Kajiken, Dakudeba, Shadow Fist, Dark Diver, said Naruto as he and Kiba come crashing down back to earth, creating a huge crater. Everyone look at the center of the crater only to see a still alive but unconscious Kiba covered in dirt and dark bruises. Standing next to Dog Boy was a pristine Naruto who was now putting his bandages back on. Irika, being the first to get over his shock, calls the match. The winner is Naruto. Naruto walks back to Hinata and Hanabi while Mizuki takes the unconscious Kiba to the hospital. The Hyuga twins check up on the condition of the dark-haired boy. Naruto, are you okay? Says Hinata as Hanabi hands Hades back to Naruto. Yeah, I'm fine, but thanks for asking, Hinata. Thanks for holding my sword, Hanabi, said Naruto as he gives the twins one of his rare smiles. Both Hinata and Hanabi blush slightly. And no problem, Naruto, after all we are friends, said Hanabi as she and Hinata internally wished they could be more. But Hanabi-chan, to me you and Hinata-chan are more just friends. I see you two as my light in this world, said Naruto as he goes to sit down to nearby tree, and the Hyuga twins were both sporting some intense blushes while following him. An hour later, Irika called Naruto to step in the ring for the final match of the male tournament, but he saw Naruto, Hinata, and Hanabi are having a nap. It was so cute that it almost hurt Irika to wake up Naruto. Naruto, wake, it's time for the final match, said Irika as he feels that he had just woken up death himself when he saw Naruto waking up in an angry mood as displayed by a large tick mark on his forehead, but he wakes up anyway. Naruto, before standing up, wakes up both Hinata and Hanabi. Huh! Naruto, what's up? Said Hanabi, who rubbing her eye as her sister does the same. Hinata, it's time for the final match for both sides, right, sensei? How did the girls' semi-final match end up? Hinata and Hanabi were both asleep with me, said Naruto with a bit of curiosity in their voice while he looking at Irika. Oh, that. Well, Sakura and Ino fought their match. They ended up knocking each other out, so Hinata and Hanabi are the finalists in the women's division. In the ring, Sasuke Uchiha, the second best student in the academy and sole survivor of the Uchiha clan massacre caused by his older brother Itachi Uchiha, waited for the enigma that is Naruto to how up in the ring. It frustrated Sasuke to no end to see Naruto as the top student and not himself. He refuses to be second best to a clanless cripple, and he would win this match to show Naruto who is the best student. After all, he was an Uchiha, the elite of the elite with no equals. Sasuke stops his chain of thoughts when he sees Naruto step in the ring while the Hyuga twins join the students on the sidelines. As Naruto faces Sasuke in the ring, both of Naruto's and Sasuke's fangirls start cheering, but they are quickly stopped to glare at one another since both fan clubs were eternal enemies of one another. The girls who are trying to be real kunoichi found this really annoying because the fangirls' behavior only served as a disgrace to the name of kunoichi. Naruto, getting annoyed by the fangirls' antics, decides to do something about He lifts his hand. Hado 31. Shikaho, said Naruto, while he fires a red bust at the fangirls, causing an explosion immediately. As the smoke clears away, there were only toasted, unconscious fangirls, while the rest of the students are looking at dark-haired boy, and one of them nod their head and says, "It's about time you did that." With that settled, everyone went back to the fight at hand. Mizuki steps forward and stands between the two combatants. The final match of the boys' side. It's Sasuke Uchiha against the Rookie of the Year, Naruto Uzumaki. As agreed upon by both parties before the match, this isn't restricted to just Taijutsu but all their ninja skills, says Mizuki as Sasuke gets into his family fighting stances, the Interceptor Fist, while Naruto got into his Shadow Fist stance. Both were still at the ready as Mizuki brought his hand down. "Hajime!" yells Mizuki, getting out of the way. "Not going to take off your bandages, Baka? I'm stronger than the Inuzuka." Then Sasuke decides to trash talk to attack Naruto mentally, and said, "When I finally defeat you, maybe I will take one of those two Hyuga girls and make her my bride-to-be, or maybe just go straight to dash." Before the dumbass Uchiha could finish his sentence, he was doubled over with a fist in his stomach. When did he attack? Though a confused Sasuke who got kicked straight in the face, sending him flying into the air. Thus began the beating of his life, well, more like two beatings of his life, and the next. He'd be joining Kiba soon. As Sasuke started falling down to earth, he heard, "You China, you cross line just for that, I'm going to break every bone in your body, but don't worry, you still take your ninja carrier," said Naruto, who next to Sasuke, and he brought out his sword Hades, Yamaken Sataru, Yami no Ikari, Darkness Sword Style, Fury of the Darkness, says Naruto as dark aura spreads from body across the sky and surrounds him and Sasuke. Blinded, Sasuke begins to panic, but he is helpless when he feels a cut on his cheek. He starts to feel a searing pain as he feels slash after slash all over his body. "Make it stop. Just make it stop," thought the fearful Uchiha as his sight returned as he fell out of the black miasma to awaiting Naruto below him. Hado 63. Raikoho, said Naruto as he fires a busted of black-colored lighting from his left hand towards the beat-up Uchiha, who was too injured to move in the air. With body not listening to his will, Sasuke was an easy target for the bust of lighting, causing him to start losing consciousness from the pain. So much pain. The darkness within the sky disappeared as Sasuke was about to hit the ground, but Naruto catches his leg in his hand right before he's about crash face first into the dirt. This, however, was not an act of mercy. Naruto wasn't done yet with him. Bakudo 61. Rikijukuro, said Naruto as he points his index finger at Sasuke, generating a spark of yellow energy which summons 6 thin wide beams of light that slams into Sasuke's midsection, holding him in place. Sasuke struggles to move after recovering enough to regaining his bearings. "Why can't I move? What did you do to me? Answer me," groans Sasuke through his pain as he wonders how Naruto was doing all these jutsu without any hand signs. "Uchiha, you haven't forgotten what I've told you at the beginning of the match already, have you? I said that I would break every bone in your body. I always make good on my words. Ye Lord! Mask of flesh and bone, flutter of wings, ye who bears the name of man, truth and temperance. Upon this sinless wall of dreams unleash but slightly the wrath of your claws." Hado 33 Sokatsui, said Naruto as dark aura encompasses his body as he fires a burst of blue energy at upside down Uchiha. Everyone but Hinata and Hanabi sees a now toasted Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto looked back at the crowd and pointed at the Uchiha. It was a clear sign of saying, "Mess with my friends, and you will pay." The teachers were just as confused as the class because they didn't know what techniques Naruto used during the match, as they were clearly not ninjutsu at all. "The winner and still Rookie of the Year, Naruto Uzumaki," said Irika, while one of Sasuke's more rabid fangirls, Sakura, gained a pissed look in her eye, which was hard to take seriously because of her skinny frame, large forehead and pink hair. Upon seeing her Sasuke on the ground unconscious and smoking, she shifts her glare to Naruto. Combined with her anger at her match with Ino, Sakura decides to take out her rage on Naruto, which was a bad idea as the foolish fangirl would find out soon enough. "You idiot! Why didn't you let Sasuke-kun win? He's an Uchiha, the greatest clan of Leaf Village, unlike you who has no clan at all," said the angry Sakura while everyone around backed away from her general area. Most of the students were thinking that Sakura was either really brave or on just plain stupid. With her next statement they figured out which one when Sakura said something that she shouldn't say. "And those Hyuga sluts that you call friends are weak." By before Sakura never finished because Naruto appeared before and slashed at her face with Hades. Sakura screamed while grabbing her left eye. "You're lucky I'm feeling merciful, you can still use that eye. Say any bad to Hinata and Hanabi again, and next time it won't be another sketch. Next time, I will remove it," says Naruto in a cold voice as he walks toward the Hyuga twins. Sakura, who's screaming in pain while her blood is flowing out of the wound and calling for help, but no one helps the pink-hair girl. /n hahaha take that you pink-haired bitch. And yes, I really hate Sakura. Flame me all you want, but it won't change a thing. I just use them to warm my soul. Finally, Irika takes her to the nurse's office. /n Irika is a teacher he has to help his students, and then comes back telling that Sakura would recover fully in a few days, but no one cared. Next up, the final match between the finalists of the female tournament. Hinata Hyuga and Hanabi Hyuga, please come to the sparring circle. The twins glance at one another, nod their heads, and walk towards the ring. Naruto stopped them both with a hand on their shoulder. Both of you are my lights. Do your best and shine brightly for me, okay? Said Naruto quietly for only them to hear. Both blushed and nodded their heads and entered the ring. Both had a serious look on their face as they face each other. Byakugan glared into Byakugan. Irika stepped forward as the referee of this match. He raised his hand and said, just to be clear, the rule of the final match still applies. All ninja skills are allowed. Are you ready? Yes, says Hanabi. Yes, sensei, says Hinata. Okay, Hajime. The fight between the Hyuga that followed could only be described as a work of art. The twins flowed into their clan's gentle fist style as if by second nature. Since their close call 6 years ago, they have constantly been training so they could defend themselves no matter what the situation. Hinata made use of her superior flexibility to flow around her sister's strike, but Hanabi was fast enough to avoid her counter-strikes. They kept this battle close quarters. They understood that this would be a test between them, a battle of skill to see who the stronger of the two. 5 minutes this flawless dance continued, before Hanabi overextended her strike at Hinata's shoulder. Hinata immediately took advantage of the opening and tapped the tenketsu points in her sister's right leg to take her speed advantage away. Hanabi replied in kind and attacked Hinata's right shoulder with a palm strike. They jump away from each other to catch their breath. I won't lose! They thought at the same time as their Byakugans flared back to life. Recognizing she had to keep her sister at bay to regain the use of her leg, Hanabi flew into hand signs and called out her jutsu. Katan, Hozenka no Jutsu, Fire Style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Hinata did her best to dodge the dozens of small fireballs that flew at her, unfortunately anticipate her sister firing multiple kunai and shuriken at her right as she was trying to regain her bearings. Having no time to dodge, Hinata started expelling churka from every tenketsu in her body and started spinning, deflecting all the projectiles away. Kaiten, said Hinata after she stopped her rotation, sweating a bit from the churka use. I see you've improved since our last spar, Wani-chan, said a shocked Hanabi as couldn't believe her sister has already mastered one of their family's most prized techniques. Yes, Hanabi-chan, but still that is for another time. Now, though, we must finish this. I know you are tired as well, said the slightly panting Hinata. Fine then. Let's see if your heavenly rotation can stop this. Katan, Gokakyu no Jutsu, Fire Style, Grand Fireball Jutsu, yelled Hanabi after flying through another set of hand signs. She blenched out a large fireball at Hinata's position. The flames covered the ground after a large explosion on impact. Hanabi watched the flame with some trepidation, hoping she didn't just kill her sister. Still she remained vigilant and left her Byakugan activated. She suddenly heard a light crumbling sound coming from behind her in her blind spot. As swiftly as she could, she turns and gives a palm strike to the threat only for her hand to pass through the smiling bushin of her sister. The next thing Hanabi felt was a palm strike uppercut to the chin courtesy of Hinata. Landing hard on her back, Hanabi struggled to sit back up. She was quickly pinned down by her sister, who held a kunai to her throat. I win this time, Imato, little sister, said Hinata with a smile on her face. Damn it, I almost had you. I surrender, sighed Hanabi with a pout. True, but you let your guard down enough for my Doton, Shinjuzanshu no Jutsu Earth Release, Double Suicide Decapitation Technique, and Bushin no Jutsu combination to take you out, says Hinata as she picks Hanabi off the ground. The winner of the match and the female tournament is Hinata Hyuga. Congratulations to both of you. That was a fine match, one worthy of a kunoichi of the leaf, said Irika as both girls get back up and walk back to a clapping Naruto. Now that is how kunoichi are supposed to fight. Great use of tactics, ladies, I'm proud of both of you, said Naruto with a bright smile. Blushing under the praise, they says their thanks. However, looking at themselves, they knew they needed a bath or at least a change of clothes. Hinata's coat was covered in dirt and scorched in a number of spots thanks to her close encounter with that last fireball. Hanabi was in slightly better condition, only slightly covered in dirt. Irika stands before the class of ninja hopefuls. Everyone, the exam is now over. We will now distribute the Hittite to those of you who passed the final exam. Will the following people please come with me back to the classroom, please? Shino Aburame. Time skip around 9 p.m. Naruto sat in his usually training forest relaxing with his new headband and his sword Hades. He enjoyed the cool air that blew the tassels of his protector over his eyes. Even with the peace and quiet surround him, he just couldn't get over the foreboding feeling in him. Something is going to happen. Sadly, he was right. Hanabi came running into the clearing. Panting, she manages to say, "Naruto, help, it's One-chan. She's been kidnapped by Mizuki-sensei. He took advantage of her being tired from the exam and ambushed us while we were walking home. I heard from other people that he has also stolen the forbidden scroll." After saying this, Hanabi started shivering from explosive amount of killing intent bursting out of Naruto. If she wasn't certain before, now she knows for sure that Mizuki is a dead man walking when Naruto gets his hand on him. "Hanabi, take me to him so that I can show that fool what happens to those who hurt my friends," said Naruto darkly as a black aura could be seen leaking from beneath his hishate. In the forest a mile from Konoha, Mizuki could be seen gloating over his stolen spoils. "Everything is going plan. Once I cross the border, I can deliver the scroll to Orochimaru-sama and sell the Hyuga girl to any village that wants the Byakugan, maybe Kumo?" said Mizuki, thinking of all the power and money he was going to get. Unfortunately, his musings were cut short when he feels a large amount of Ki focused completely at him. Though a tough ninja in his own right, when Mizuki turned around, he almost pissed himself. He wasn't expecting to see the cold, blue uncovered eyes of one Naruto Uzumaki without his bandages, and he looked pissed off beyond. Afraid, Mizuki broke out into a cold sweat as he looked into those eyes. He couldn't shake the feeling that a Lord of Death stood before him ready to pass judgment. Unconsciously, he recognized that the being standing before him could end his life in a flash. Fearing his end was near, Mizuki decides to cut his losses and escape with his life. "And Naruto, there's no need to be too hasty. How about this? I'll put the girl and the scroll down, and you let me go, okay?" stutters Mizuki while he places the scroll in the unconscious Hinata and backs away slowly. Naruto just glared at the traitor. When Mizuki was far enough from Hinata, Hanabi runs out from behind Naruto towards Hinata. "Hinata-nichan, please wake up. Are you okay? Did he hurt you?" cried the worried Hanabi. Seeing Hinata's condition did calm the angry Uzumaki a bit, but Mizuki decides to attack Naruto emotionally. In doing so, he said something that he shouldn't have. "Do you want to know reason why everyone hates you, Naruto?" Mizuki, as he planned to tell Naruto the secret that would take from him 6 years of friendship. Naruto's head swivels to Mizuki's location. "I'll tell you why. 16 years ago, the Kyubi no Yoko attacked the village. Hundreds dies that day," says Mizuki as he told them that they already know. "So what, everyone knows that the fourth killed the demon. What does that have to do with Naruto-kun?" said Hanabi while Hinata starts regaining consciousness. They were confused when they heard Mizuki start laughing like it was a big joke. "That is the cover story declared by the Sandaime Hokage to hide the truth from the younger generation, the truth about your friend Naruto," says Mizuki as he laughs even more. "The truth is that the fourth didn't kill the 9 tails. No human has ever been able to kill a tailed beast. Instead, he sealed it in a newborn baby, and that is you, Naruto." Mizuki points at Naruto and yells, "You are the 9 tails that attacked our home village 16 years. That's why everyone hates you," said Mizuki with a smirk, hoping he could break Naruto and his only strong relationship within the village, thus destroying him. "Is that it? That's the big secret?" said Naruto as if Mizuki told him leaves are green. "I don't care about what you or those stupid villagers think of me. You kidnapped Hinata. Trying to take my light away from me only has one consequence, death." A ball of black energy appears on Naruto's hand suddenly while he starts chatting, seeping crest of turbidity. "Arrogant vessel of lunacy. Boil forth and deny. Grow numb and flicker. Disrupt sleep. Crawling queen of iron. Eternally self-destructing doll of mud. Unite. Repulse. Fill with soil and know your own powerlessness. Heido 90 Kurohitsuji." The black energy disappears from Naruto's extended hand. Then out of nowhere a powerful torrent of gravity crashes down on Mizuki before it takes the form of a black box of energy, surrounded by several spears of the same energy. The spears then pierce the box completely, lacerating Mizuki from head to toe. The box around Mizuki disappears, leaving behind his mangled form with the spears of energy piercing him and pinning him to the ground. What is this? What do you do, your demon?" choked out Mizuki as blood leaks from his mouth and wounds as he tries in vain to escape. "Silence, filth. This is your judgment." Pulling Hades off of his back, he calls forth his Shurikai, "Bring death to all, both man and god." Hades, Ryatsu pour out of Naruto's body as a strong pressure settled on the clearing. Once in his Shurikai form, Naruto's black eyes settled on the newly paled face of Mizuki. Mizuki lost all hope as he stared at the deity before him. Lifting his flaming hand, he says something that chilled Mizuki to the bone. Give me your soul, Endo e no Pasu. As those words left Naruto's lip, Mizuki's mouth opened in a silent scream as his body shriveled up into dust, leaving behind his pale blue soul still pinned by the spears, pain still visible on his face as death didn't release him from his torment. This transforms into shock as black coffin surrounds him again, leaving only his face visible. Now you die, says Naruto as he points his palm towards the coffin. Heido 88 Hiryujikizaku Shintenreiho. His hand fires a gigantic electricity blast of energy, resulting in an enormous explosion that completely destroys the coffin along Mizuki's soul, leaving nothing behind but a crater. Naruto transforms back as he turns to see not only Hinata and Hanabi but Iruka as well. Naruto, what do you do? Asks the shocked Iruka while Naruto ignores him out of concern for the twins. Are you two alright? Asks Naruto in a worried tone. Why yes, Naruto-kun. We're fine and thank you for saving me, said Hinata as she smiles while Hanabi smiles too. They both kiss him on the cheek. Blushing heavily, Naruto scratches his head while chuckling. So you guys don't care about the Kyuubi? Of course not, you baka. We've known long enough that you're different. Not exactly, but we could tell, says Hanabi as she points to her eyes. Besides, it doesn't change the fact that you saved me twice now. I think that more than anything proves you're no demon, adds Hinata with a smile. Before Iruka could talk to Naruto again, Ienbyu appears from the shadows around the area as the Sandaime stepped forth. Naru, before the old Hokage could finish saying anything, Naruto turned to the twins and says, you two are staying with me tonight. After speaking, Naruto disappears with the twins using the Shushin no Jutsu. Left in the dust, the Sandaime just sighs. He still won't listen to me, but at least he's happy. He deserves that much at least, he says as he thinks about the team configurations. He shudders as he realizes that if he puts Naruto on a team besides the twins, it wouldn't end well for the team, or their sensei for that matter. It'd be a waste. Coming to a decision, he turns to Iruka, who stands at attention. It's good to be Hokage sometimes, he thinks as he calls out his orders. Iruka. Yes, Hokage-sama. Come with me, I need a report on what happened here. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Anbu. Sir. Called the four voices in unison. Clean this place up and head back to the barracks. We are done here. Yes, Hokage-sama. With that, the Sandaime and Iruka shine back to the village. Skip time a month later. A month has passed since the final exams and kidnapping of Hinata and the Forbidden Scroll. The villagers had heard that it was Naruto who stopped Mizuki from leaving, as well killed the Rouge Shinobi. This combined with saving the Hyuga heiress had changed the minds of a few citizens. Now some of them see Naruto as less of a blight on their village and more as a person. Others just stood steadfast in their thinking that demon was only hiding its true colors waiting to strike, and Mizuki was just the first of many victims to come. Today at the academy, all the former trainees who graduated the final exam are waiting in the classroom one last time. The reason was simple. Today was the day they would find out what team they'd be put on to start their shinobi careers. Here we find Naruto talking with both Hinata and Hanabi mostly about what they'd do once they receive their assignment. They weren't the only ones talking, as the classroom was abuzz with conversation about similar topics, all doing with the team formations. After for a while, Iruka finally entered the classroom with the list of teams. Sorry I'm late. Every Iruka cuts himself off as he notices that no one is paying attention, still locked in their own worlds. As a vein bulges in his forehead, he uses his patented big head just to get the attention of the class. Everyone, eyes front and shut up! Yells Iruka as immediately getting the result he was looking for. A quiet class. Anyway, today all of you are no longer students. Today you are all official ninja of the Konoha. You will be treated as adults, so I expect you to act as such. These will be my last words to you as your instructor. Serve your village well. Always remember to protect your comrades. Draw strength from yourself and your allies, because in the field that could be all you have. Best luck to each of you, and I am grateful to have been your sensei. Now on to the team selection. Team 1, says Iruka as he reads the list of teams for each students. Team 7 will be made up of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Sai. Your sensei will be Hatake Kakashi. Good luck with him, said Iruka as he sweats drops because he knows that Kakashi is always late for anything and everything, as has yet to pass a genuine team. He was brought out of his musing when he hears Sakura screaming about true love conquering all and being on the same team as her Sasuke-kun. Team 8 are pairs of Shino Aburame, Kiba Inuzuka and Azumi Higashi. Your sensei is Kurenai Yuhi. I suggest being on your best behavior, Kiba, said Iruka, shaking his head, knowing Kurenai would dislike Kiba since she once had to look after both Hinata and Hanabi after their mother's death. They have told her everything Kiba has done. Knowing Kurenai, she would break his mind via genjutsu when she see the dog boy. Kiba, being none the wiser, merely raised an eyebrow in confusion and shrugged off Iruka's warning. Since Team 9 is still in circulation, let's skip on to Team 10, which will be Shikamaru, Choji and Ino. Your sensei is Asuma Saratobi, says Iruka while hearing Ino complain about being unfair or something about fat asses and lazy fucks. Iruka just sighs as he hears Shikamaru grumble about troublesome blondes. Skipping Teams 11 and 12. Team 13, well, this is the first. This team will be made up of our Rookie of the Year as well as the Kunoichi of Year, Naruto Uzumaki, Hinata Hyuga and Hanabi Hyuga, your senseis. But before Iruka finish, he had to cover his ears because a really loud screaming permeated throughout the school. All of Naruto's fangirls are yelling out in anguish, and oh, don't put our dark-haired prince with those twin harpies. Quickly getting fed up with the fangirls, Iruka takes a deep breath and yells, "Shut up!" After that the class was silent save for the quiet sobs of a few fangirls. Nodding his head, Iruka continues with the team's selections. All the while he took notice of the grinning face of Naruto and his future teammates. Iruka is happy for Naruto. He saw that there was a lot of potential for Naruto to be great, but the only thing that could be a problem would be bad teammates. To that end, he was happy Naruto didn't get separate from either of the sister. Of course, both Hinata and Hanabi are really happy being paired up with Naruto, their longtime crush. There would definitely be a team to be reckoned with. The Hokage must have seen that because this formation was his idea in the first place. Now, as I was saying, the Jounin sensei of Team 13 will be. That's all for this chapter. Sorry for taking so long, hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, next time we see what will happen now that Naruto, Hinata, and Hanabi are all on the same team? Who is their sensei? Haha, guesses are welcome. Those who guess right will get a cookie. Anyway, review your thoughts are welcomed. And also thanks again for Seiken-Kyokuin. Chapter 3, Vision of a Destroyed Future, Missions and Waves. Somewhere of elemental nations there is a small village near the land of tea. In that village lives an old fortune teller, one of few who can truly see into the future. This fortune teller's name is Madame Selfie. Ever since she was a kid, she had the gift to see about 10 years into the future, and near limitless ability to see into the past within 10 years. She still had rules she had to follow, but she made sure to stay within her limit, otherwise her power would be lost. Thanks to her gift, many people come to her for help in personal matter ranging from finding their lost items, loved ones, the list goes on. Madame Selfie, however, was nearing retirement at the tender age of 82. Having 3 years left to continue her services, she did her best to help as many people as possible before her retirement. Today, though, there was no one visiting her small shop and she was growing bored. Her favorite way to kill time at these cases was to explore the future at her leisure anyway. Maybe I should look into the future to see what it will be like. Who knows, maybe it'll be a little better than last time, said Madame Selfie as she starts meditating in order to let her spirit leave her body to enable her clairvoyance. Madame Selfie's spirit travels through time and space 10 years into the future in what can only be described as a stream of various colors. Once she exits out of a fold only she can perceive, her jaw drops at the sight before her. Her eyes are wide as she looks around her only to see the landscape completely and utterly destroyed. She couldn't what she was seeing, everything is gone. Villages, people and animals or all signs of life were just gone along the once blue sky. Even that was now dark gray, mirroring the full of despair of the environment. What happened? What did this? Said the spirit of Madame Selfie as she looked around frantically, wondering what happened to make this horrible future. I made this happen, says a voice of male with tone of monotony and despair from behind her. Madame Selfie turns to see a man with beige eyes with long brown hair, the signature of the Hyuga clan. He was actually the former head clan, Hayashi Hyuga. What do you mean, sir? What happened here? Says the old lady as she asking the ghost of Hayashi. Madame Selfie also has another gift to go with future sight. She could talk to the dead from the past or future in order to get some facts of the events that had happened so she could understand the future. My name is Hayashi of the Hyuga clan, but there's no Hyuga clan these days since all members of my clan have been wiped out because of my failures as a father and a human being, said Hayashi in a voice filled with sadness and regret. Please tell me what caused this, Hayashi? Said Madame. Hayashi took a moment to recall the biggest mistake of his life before speaking. Not by what, but by who, and his name is Naruto Uzumaki. He is also known as the man who destroyed this world, and I am the one who lit the fuse to our destruction, to this never-ending nightmare. All because by my arrogance, I had taken away the only 2 people he ever loved. I killed them. I killed my own 2 daughters out of petty spite. Hayashi then burst into tears before continuing. It's because of me and my actions I created a monster of pure destruction. It's because of me. I made Naruto into that monster, a monster that lost his light, so he plunged the whole world into the same darkness along with him, said Hayashi as he cries of tears of regret, while Madame Selfie could barely believe this was all done by one man. Tell me your story of the day you killed your daughters, the day you created that monster doomed the world, said Madame Selfie, wanting to hear the story of Hayashi's greatest mistake. Hayashi looks up the dark sky that no longer has any sunlight for a very long time. How long has it been since Hinata's and Hanabi's death and the birth of my nightmare? Today marks a decade since that day. Listen to this old fool's story, the story of Hyuga clan's greatest mistakes, said Hayashi while trying taking his emotions in check. Hayashi narration. It's been 10 years now since both Hinata and Hanabi became ninja and have reached the rank of Chunin with their teammate as well, their crush Naruto, who was a cold person, colder than I could have ever been. Those were the times I was a horrible father to both Hinata and Hanabi cause I blamed them mother's death. And I always thought they were weak. That made our clan look weak, especially with their love for Uzumaki. Back then I always hated him because I thought of him as a blight on the village. He was trash, with the Kyuubi that attacked our home village long ago, sealed on his stomach. But I also found the boy strong, and he always carried a sword with him everywhere. No matter where he goes, whenever I see him alone he doesn't smile or look happy. I remember that the Sandane once told me that Naruto was once a happy, carefree child when he was 5.5, but he changed when he turned 6. Something must have happened to him on that particular birthday that completely changed him. He entered the academy with all children of his age group. My nephew Niji told me about him always being alone, never even trying to make friends. I remember saying to myself, good, that beast knows its place. It doesn't deserve to have friend. It doesn't deserve happiness. I realized now that I was such a fool to believe that. When they turned 10, both Hinata and Hanabi had gotten kidnapped by a Kumo ninja during a supposed peace negotiation with Cloud. Naruto was the one who saved them. I didn't care about that though. I was very angry and embarrassed that they were kidnapped in the first place. Choosing to vent my anger at them, I called them weak for not being able to sense their kidnapper. They were 10 and still learning how to sense enemies. Most of all, their guard would be down while in their own home. I wasn't thinking clearly then due to my arrogance and pride as the strongest family in the village. I let it go to my head to blind me, and before I realized of what I'd done, before I knew it, I had begun to hate my own children. It was too late to change, too late to open my eyes to see if what I was doing was wrong. It was too late to stop the catastrophe of what I would set in motion. In the years to come, my daughter had become fond of the Uzumaki, going so far as to be their friend. Their relationship was further cemented by Naruto once again saving Hinata from being kidnapped by Mizuki. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. Anyway, the only time I've ever seen Naruto happy and smiling when he was with my daughters. I could tell that he was deeply in love with both of them, as well with them deeply in love with Naruto. I hated it. The hate I had for Naruto and my daughter combined into a cold determination to destroy their happiness. But I needed to patience for my plan to have a full effect. With that in mind, I waited past their becoming genin, being put on the same team, even their Chunin examination. I would destroy their illusion of happiness. When Naruto away on a B-rank mission, they hear the clan council, and I decided to end their lives of my daughters as a means to break him, to make him know his place. Also, we couldn't let the demon corrupt our heiresses. We had no way of knowing the madness we would unleash. And the day that Naruto returned from the mission and he head toward to see both Hinata and Hanabi, when he arrived the gates of mansion, we jumped him, sealed his chakra points along with repression seals, and dragged him into the compound. We sat him down and forced him to watch as our clan members took turns beating Hinata and Hanabi to nearly to death before his eyes. I had them branded with the caged bird seal to remind there was no escape from the clan's laws. I was to the final executioner of both Hinata and Hanabi. I reveled in their pain. They were weak, and let themselves become intertwined with this vagabond. The look of rage on the boy's face couldn't be described in words. Had he not been repressioned continuously by 5 members of our clan, he would have broken free to rescue them. He tried though with every ounce of his being he did, but we had planning and numbers. Before I killed my daughters, I let them say their final words as a courtesy. Their words were a final proclamation of love for the Uzumaki before expressing how they were disappointed in the action of their ex-family. Those words made me see red. They were disappointed in me. They who were weak pieces of trash in my eyes had the gall to say that to me. So I killed them, in a manner I saw best fit their crime of defying me, activation of the caged bird seal. I didn't let up until their screams and died down into whimpers, then silence. On that day at the peak of my insanity, I didn't kill just 2 innocent people but 3, for when Naruto heard their last words and final cries something in him snapped. The boy was silent for a long time, and for a moment I thought I had succeeded in my goal of breaking him. I was half right. He lost himself to the darkness and unleashed a terrifying wave power that blew away all his captors, leaving them in pain and covered in black burns. When the dust cleared from the explosion, I looked at a being that could have been considered human but now was a faceless monster. I remember that a black mask forming on that thing's face with white lines leading from the eye hole as permanent tears signifying how much his heart was broken. Those piercing yellow eyes haunt me to this day. Precious people weren't the only thing I took from Naruto. I had taken away whatever light he had left in his soul. He had been so close to giving the world another chance. But I take that chance away, making Naruto into a monster that wants nothing but to destroy the world and everything in it. When that mask completely covered Uzumaki's face, his body turns into a pure black, extremely muscled representation of its old self. Once the transformation was complete, he went on a rampage, killing anyone and everyone in sight. It was horrible. He had left his sword to rip apart everything with his now clawed hands. It was like seeing death given physical form, but it was much worse when he saw a young Hyuga child. He had shown no hesitation in grabbing the child head before crushing it, before tossing the body aside like a broken doll. What he did to other members of my clan is too terrifying to speak in words. Suffice to say, when he left no body of intact among those he killed, he came back to the courtyard to retrieve his sword before continuing his rampage throughout the village. Men, women, children, shinobi, or civilian, it didn't matter, he slaughtered anyone in line of sight with his sword, not caring what life he had taken. Only reason I was alive was due to being blown into some bushes by the initial blast. That moment, looking at what was left of my clan, me and elders of the Hyuga Council realized just what we have done. In trying to control what we break, what we perceived as a monster, we had created one with no heart, no feelings of joy or sadness in what he doing, no human emotion seen in his yellow eyes. Nothing was alive in Naruto. Just emptiness. He proceeding to kill over half the people in the village. He then ran towards the gate of the village, blowing the gate off its hinges, before going off into the distance not to be seen again for 5 years. The people were filled fear and shock at what Naruto did to the village. The Hokage demanded answers as to the cause, as well as ran damage control to calm the people down. When it came to light my clan's actions, we were all nearly executed, but we were needed, so we were kept alive with heavy restriction. I and the elders had our chakra sealed permanently. It was because my action we were shamed in our own village, and as well brought the end of the world, though we didn't know it yet. Naruto was listed in the bingo book with a flea on sight order. As 5 years passed by, my clan had removed the caged bird seal and made a new seal, the seal of shame for both main and branch. It would seal our bloodline after death or restrain us without pain. It was planted right on our hearts as a symbol of our eternal shame. In those 5 years, many ninjas from every village have encountered Uzumaki, either killed or come back with body parts missing. None of them ever came back same person they once were after the encounter. My twin brother, Hisashi, was among the one who was killed outside of the village on one of these missions. One of few from our village to come back alive was Kiba, who came from a mission but was gravely injured. He had lost an eye, his right arm, and had a large scar on his chest. He had a look of terror on his face like he had seen death. Within first 4 years of his leaving, Naruto had systematically destroyed every shinobi village, one after the other, killing everyone from civilian to Kage without stopping. Not even other demon containers could stand before this new being. No one could stop him from his rampage. And so the world was being destroyed by just one man who was no longer man. Now he was nothing but a monster, the monster I created from my mistake. Survivors among the ninja from the different villages joined the village in hope of stopping Naruto. Then in the 5th year of his absence, Naruto had returned to our village, but he changed so much he had become less human and more of a monster. His form enlarged then when he left. Many of our ninja forces come at him, but he cut them down with one slash like they were nothing but grass before a scythe. While the Jounin and Anbu tried their hardest to slow Naruto down, the lower-ranking ninja evacuated the villagers from the battlefield. I chose to stay in my office and waiting for my punishment, the one I so richly deserved. My nephew, Niji, now a Jounin, came to my office one last time and told me that I have to leave because Naruto had annihilated the entire shinobi forces, even the Hokage, and was heading towards the clan compound. I told him that I couldn't go, that I had to face the monster that I created. Niji told me I was being a fool, but I answered back that I was fool to kill my own children, and I finally be doing something right by staying here and facing Naruto. I made Niji clan head that day and told him not to make my mistakes. You're now the head clan leader, and don't make the same mistake I have made. This would be my final goodbye to Niji. He understood, and he bowed to me for one last time before leaving. Before long I was the sole person in the compound waiting for my executor to come to my office. He made quite the entrance, as he made his presence known by the explosion I could hear from my office. He finally entered my room by breaking down my door, and I saw the finished product of my spite. While he still bore the same mask from 4 years ago, he now had long black hair slightly covered his mask with 2 long bangs on either side of it. Black flames rested on his head in the shape of ears resembling those of his tenant. This same flame made up tail that angrily swished behind his body, burning everything it came in contact with. He easily stood over 8 feet tall even as he hunched over to fit in my office. Black leathery skin covered the large, defined muscles that made up his body. Angry yellow eyes glare at me with the most hatred I've felt in my life. The clawed hand that held his sword twitched in anticipation at ending my life. Before he can take another step, I said my final words to him, knowing he has lost himself. Naruto, for all I have done, I know there can be no forgiveness. Knowing this injustice, I am hoping somewhere in deep within you that the old you is still listening to what I'm going to say. While I spoke, Naruto slowly walked towards me, preparing to strike me down with his blood-drenched sword. I know this old fool doesn't deserve an ounce of pity, but please stop this madness. Think about Hinata and Hanabi. I see Naruto pause for a moment to stare at me in the eye, sword near striking distance. Seeing it as a positive sign, I pressed on. If they saw you like this, they would be crying for the boy they fell in love with. Seeing him become a monster would crush them. They'd want him to return to his old self, but I know my words won't reach as it is too late. I pause as I see Naruto moving forward till he is within arm's length of me, easily towering over me with his monstrous body. After looking him in the eye one last time, I bowed my head in resignation. For what at that, I am sorry for taking your happiness away from you. I sorry for taking what humanity you had left, and finally I sorry for taking your lights away. After those words, an angry light entered his eyes as his tail split into 4 and captured my limbs. He savored my screams as the tails burned into my flesh. When my limb became numb from the pain, he proceeded to tear them off of me one by one, starting with my arm. The pain continued as he burned the wounds close. I was fading into unconsciousness as the pain was too overwhelming. Right before I blacked out, the last thing I heard was a low guttural voice. Because of you, all I know is darkness. There is no joy, no sadness, no pain, no pleasure, and least of all mercy. That is left is emptiness, shall make this world as empty as I am. Then everything went black as the pain was too much. I knew I was dead, yet somehow by whatever power that saw fit to continue my torture, as I could still see what was happening. So I bore witness to just how terrifying power his power has gotten. After accomplishing his long sought-after goal, Naruto jumped through the roof of the building, rising high into the sky, and unleashed a giant black beam from his mouth down at the village. The attack caused a huge explosion. What was left of the Leaf Village after the dust settled was nothing but ashes and a gigantic crater. Even the Hokage mountain was gone. The only thing left alive was Naruto. He landed back on ground before walking off towards the next village. His rampage went on for 2 more years until they stopped him. Narration end. What happened? Who are they? Asked Madame Selfie frantically as she wondered how the beast was stopped. Thanks to Naruto attacks, there were only 8 ninjas left in the world, and they fought the greatest battle the world would even see, but all 8 had sacrificed their lives in order to seal Naruto away forever. All to end the killing so long as the seal is never broken, said the ghost of Hayashi. And where did they put him? Said Madame Selfie. They put Naruto in a mountain far away from here, said Hayashi, while wondering if somewhere in the future someone would be foolish enough to unseal Naruto. But then it hit Madame Selfie. Hayashi-sama, why didn't you move on? Said Madame Selfie as she asking the soul of Hayashi while Hayashi thinks about it. Maybe it's because I bound here forever linked with my sin, doomed to this eternal emptiness that I so freely gave to another. Said Hayashi. Madame Selfie nods in understanding and decides to return her body. I'll be going now, but is any you have left to say? Said the old lady. Yes, I do. Please change the past and save the future of this world from my mistakes, said Hayashi as he bows to Madame Selfie. Save my daughters from their foolish father. I beg you. Madame Selfie nods her head, understanding what she has to do. I will, Hayashi, you can bet on it, said Madame Selfie as flies off into a fold existence. After Madame Selfie returns from her trip, she opens her eyes and sees her grandson waiting patiently in front of her. Oh, Yama-chan, were you waiting for your dear old grandmother? Said Madame as she looks her 5-year-old boy. Yes, I was, Oba-san, and please stop calling me that, say the young boy named Yamamoto Genryosai. Laughing a bit, she responds with a smile. Okay, Yamamoto-kun. Anyhow, would you like to go to the Hidden Leaf Village? Said Madame Selfie as she sees her grandson smiles happily. Yes, I would like that a lot, Oba-san. I want see to new place, said the young boy jumping up and down with a grin on his face. Konoha Academy. The Jounin sensei of Team 13 will be Yugo Yuzuki. That's all of the teams, said Irika. Actually, I'm right here, Yumano-san. Team 13. Come with me to training field 13, said a feminine voice before the person left out the window. Slightly confused by the lack of words by their sensei, Naruto, Hinata, and Hanabi leapt out the window after their sensei to the training ground. Konoha Training Field 13. When Naruto and company appeared in the field, their sensei signaled them to sit down and began her introduction. Hello, I am your new Jounin sensei Yugo Yuzuki. You made good time getting here, promising. Now we'll about introducing ourselves. Since you three don't know me, I'll start. As I said, my name is Yugo. I likes our kenjutsu and my boyfriend hate. My dislikes include my perverts, tardiness, and laziness. My dreams for the future are making this team as strong as possible and becoming a kenjutsu master someday, says Yugo as she motions for Hinata to start. Naruto had used this time to analyze their sensei due to only have a brief look at her in the classroom. She was fair-skinned and had purple hair that was a little past her shoulders and framed her face. She was a beauty in her own right, but the light muscle, her stance, and the slightly tattered handle of the sword on her back told him all he needed to know about how seriously she took her training. She wore the green Jounin vest over a black, spandex shirt and black pants taped off at the calf. She wore black shinobi sandal and fingerless gloves that reached just below her shoulder where there was a red tattoo on her right shoulder. Blushing a little from being in the spotlight suddenly, Hinata begins, Hello, my name is Hinata Hyuga. My likes include flowering pressing, making medicine, my sister, and Naruto. My dislikes are dogs who can't take a hint and those who can't look past their own prejudices to see the reality of how they treat others, especially within my clan. My dream, I want to become strong so I can change my clan for the better as clan head by removing the caged bird seal. Yugo nods in understanding before signaling Hanabi to start. My name is Hanabi Hyuga. My likes are the same as my sister's except I prefer painting, perfecting my clan's jutsu style and fire jutsu. Dislikes are the same as my clan is disgracing itself with its treatment of its own people. My dream is to become strong enough to change my clan as well as capture the attention of a certain person. Hanabi finished with a quick glance at Naruto and a blush. Hinata almost wanted to. Finally it was Naruto's turn, but he didn't know if he could trust his new sensei yet. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are my lights, training and my sword. My dislikes are many. My dream's not sure about that one. If I were to have one, it would be to become strong enough to protect my lights. After his introduction, Naruto had two blushing Hyuga on both sides of him and a smirking sensei. I'm sure this bond of theirs will make this an excellent team. They already knew each other well from what their files say, so it'd be pointless to test their teamwork, not to mention Hokage-sama already gave his approval, thought Yugo. Now since we know each other I say this team has passed because I don't really feel like putting you through a test as I'm sure you would have passed anyway. I will however be assessing your skills during our next meeting, says Yugo aloud despite already know what each member could do to a certain extent. The announcement the twins give each other high fives while Naruto, who had enough with tests for a while, cracked a small smile. So tomorrow we will have the assessment, and start your training. This will continue for 2 weeks, then we start taking missions. First we need to you two, points at the twins, some swords. Since I am swordsman, I can teach you two my technique, says Yugo while the Hyuga twins like the idea of being a Kenjutsu Genin team. Okay team, I will meet you three here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Don't be late. For now you are dismissed, says Yugo as she vanished, leaving Naruto, Hinata and Hanabi alone. Before a minute passes, Naruto stands up to leave. Naruto-kun, where are you going? Says Hinata. I know a place that has nearly every type of sword. The owner of the shops knows me, so I paying for your and Hanabi-chan's first swords, said Naruto as he heading back to the village while Hinata and Hanabi yell out for Naruto to wait for them as they run to catch up to their dark-haired teammate. The village market. Naruto walks around the market area with the Hyuga twins all the while ignoring the whispers and glares of the villagers who still hated Naruto. Why did they follow that thing to become a ninja? Say one group. How could their girls be friends with that thing? Don't they know how dangerous it is? Said another. As the villagers continue whispering about Naruto, Hanabi has enough and chooses to vocalize her frustration with it. Shut up. We can hear you and leave Naruto alone. He has done nothing to you, so shut up with your bullshit, yells the angry Hanabi as she glares at the crowd. Hanabi, ignore them. Naruto doesn't care about what they say about him, said Hinata, trying to stop her sister before anything bad could happen. Hanabi looks at Naruto before nodding and understanding and goes back walking towards the store that Naruto is leading them to, the store which wasn't that far. As Naruto, Hinata and Hanabi enters the store called Wolf's Claw. The twins' eyes go wide at the many different kinds of weapons that they have never seen before, along with the multiple styles of ninja clothing. As they enter the store, they come across the owner. Welcome to Wolf's Claw, your one-stop shop for all ninja equipment. I'm Dan, the owner, said the owner of the store, who looked to be a man in his early 30s. Well, if isn't my favorite customer. How are you doing, Naruto? What can I help you with? Said Dan. Hello, Dan-san. You see, my teammates here need swords because our new sensei is a kenjutsu practitioner, said Naruto as he explains to the man. Interesting, I rarely see Hyugas trying to pick up kenjutsu. Okay, I have just the swords for your girlfriends, Naruto, said Dan as the Hyuga twins blush at his words. Gee, girlfriends, they thought, while the owner went off to find the swords that go perfectly with the twins. After a bit of digging, he bought out two longer than normal ninjatos. One had a red blade with a red flames design on the handle, and the other one had a blue blade and the handle has a blue flame design. Their sheaths matched their respective sword colors. Both Hinata and Hanabi were shocked to see such beautiful blades. These two swords should go well with them, said the man as he gives the red sword to Hanabi and the blue sword to Hinata. While they were taking a few practice swings, Dan handed them the sheath. Also, don't worry about paying for these. They're on the house, since Naruto here is my best customer since he was 8. All I ask is that you advertise my shop to your friends, and you stop by from time to time to buy some supplies, said the Dan as he waves off the twins' attempt to pay. As the twins leave to practice with their new swords, Naruto steps over to Dan and shakes his hand. Thank you very much, Dan, for helping me all this time. Do you by any chance have that special order of mine? Dan grinned. I'm always here for ya, kid. Sorry, but this order of yours is quite difficult, especially considering the energy you want to use to fuel Seal. Never seen anything like it. It's quite amazing, actually. Give me a couple more weeks, this will be quite the work of art. I understand. I will be sending the usual payment. Bye for now. Time skip 5 weeks later. After their initial 2-week training period, Team 13 has been doing daily D-rank missions, many of which involve chasing after a small orange and black striped cat with red ribbon on its right ear. Right now this cat, named Tora, is running away from the Hinata and Hanabi, easily giving both a hard time. Damn it, this is the 58th time that cursed cat has escaped from the Fire Lord's wife. Why doesn't just put a leash on the thing? Said the tired and angry Hanabi while Hinata nods while on her knees catching her breath. I don't know if I can run anymore, Hanabi. Tora runs too fast, and we've been running for 3 hours now, says Hinata. I know, Hinata. And Tora doesn't even run or attack Naruto anymore since the first time he scratched him, says Hanabi. While the two sweat drop at the memory of the near-death experience Tora had that day, only to start behaving like an angel around Naruto without showing any signs of running away. Yugo sighs at their difficulties as she thought they would be able to catch the cat without Naruto, who was sitting next to her among the tree branches, choosing to meditate while waiting for the mission to be over. Have Hinata and Hanabi caught Tora yet? Says Naruto while a few birds lands on his shoulders and head. No, not yet, Naruto. Just wait a little long. Yugo freezes her when she sees Tora laying on Naruto's lap being petted by him. How? I didn't send you to the field, and we're standing in a high tree nearly hidden from view. Why does Tora comes to you? Asks the stunned Yugo while Hinata and Hanabi come back giggling at the sight of sensei and teammate. Well, it goes to the show that even without trying, Naruto has a natural animal magnetism. They always go to him, says Hanabi while Hinata smiles at a little bird resting on Naruto's head. Ah, so cute, said Hinata while petting the bird. After completing their mission, Team 13 heads back to the Hokage Tower with Tora in hand. On their way in, they see Team 7 walking out, most likely to another D-rank mission, and Team 7 sounded quite upset with this. Why are we doing these lousy missions? These chores are a complete waste of my time and talent, says an Uchiha elite, says Sasuke with his faithful fangirl, Sakura, nodding in agreement. Sai, Team 7's third member, is silent and Kakashi is focused on reading his book and not attention to his team's complaints. Yugo yells out to get Kakashi's attention. Hey Kakashi-senpai. I see you and your team are heading out to another D-rank mission. How are things? Sasuke's attention shifts to Team 13, specifically Naruto. He stares hard at Naruto, who holding Tora, and Sakura upon seeing the cat freaks out. Oh no, it's the demon cat. The cat also recognizes Sakura, starts hissing at her. It then attacks her face by jumping out of Naruto's arms. The pink-haired girl falls down when Tora latches onto her face and starts screaming in pain. Get this thing off my face! Yells Sakura as Tora continues to scratch her face. Naruto, having enough of the screaming, picks up Tora and walks inside, not caring about Sakura. How's my face? Someone get me a mirror, say the terrified Sakura, who is covered with scratch marks on her faces by Tora, which also revealed the scar from Naruto's attack that she worked hard to cover with makeup. Hanabi laughs at Sakura as she heads into the Hokage tower. I really like that cat, says the laughing Hanabi, while Hinata, who trying not laugh, follows her. While Yugugo sighs, she looks at Kakashi. Kakashi, I don't know why you keep her in the program? I have my reasons, Kakashi replies while still reading this Ika book. Shaking her head, Yugugo says one last thing as she enters the tower. You really should stop reading that book, and read what's going on around you, senpai. Kakashi looked at her for a moment, and then looked at his team for a moment. He saw the screaming/crying Sakura, an angry Uchiha, and ever stoic Sai, neither of which was offering their teammate help. Shaking his head a bit, Kakashi went back to reading his book and told his team to follow him. Once the females of Team 13 enter the mission office, they find Naruto standing by the wall while Tora, who is hiding behind Naruto's legs from her owner, the lovely wife of the Fire Lord. Tora dear, come to mama, cooed the woman, trying to get Tora to come back to her, but it wouldn't move away from Naruto. Why is Tora like this? Said the confused woman, who, wondering why her pet cat is like this, it seemed afraid of her. Naruto answered her question plainly. It's because of the way you give your affection to her. You mustn't crush her, or pet her like a dog. You have to be gentle with little Tora here. Naruto proceeding to show the woman the correct way, like petting Tora very gently, and the wife of the Fire Lord took notes on Naruto's advice. After a while, the lady lifts a much happier Tora and leaves payment for the mission, which has double of the normal payment, on the desk. Every ninja in the room thanks Naruto for getting rid of the most annoying of all D-rank missions. Lord Hokage, are there any more mission for us? Said Yugugo, while Hanabi remember a few of the past missions, some of which included pulling weeds, walking dogs from the Inuzuka clan, and as well babysitting the grandkids of older councilmen. Well, there is one mission left, but it's a C-rank mission though. Are you sure that your team is ready for this, Yugugo? Said the Sandaime. Yes, Hokage-sama, I believe in this team. They are ready, not to mention we've broken record for doing the most D-rank mission in the shortest amount of time. 148 missions and counting, said Yugugo, knowing it is true. Nodding his head, the Sandaime spoke. Okay, Yugugo, here is your first C-rank mission. You will guide and guard a bridge builder to his home, the Village of Waves. Irika decides to step forward. Lord Hokage, wait a minute, they just got out of the academy not that long ago, yet you're sending them a C-rank mission? Please reconsider, said Irika, worrying about his former students. Irika-san, I know that you're worried about them, but they are no longer your students. They have proven themselves to be quite capable. They are ready, and Yugugo's a former ANBU captain at that, so if anything goes wrong, Yugugo will help them out, says the old man to calm Ayuka concerns. Bring in Tazuna please, calls the Sandaime. An old man with a sake bottle walks in, and he's drunk as heck. This is what I get. Hick, I asked for mighty ninjas, but hick, instead I get a group of teenager that acts so damn cocky, slurs the client. Whose name is Tazuna, a bridge builder from the Wave Village, and what's more, those two girls look real. Tazuna stopped speaking because the point of Hades sat at his throat with cold blue eye glaring into his soul. Naruto, wait. Don't kill the client even if he's a drunk, just let it go, says Yugugo, while Naruto continues giving Tazuna the evil eye. Say anything bad to Hinata and Hanabi again, I will kill you, not even Sensei will stop me, says the black-haired youth in a cold voice while he moves his Zanpakuto from Tazuna's throat. Tazuna falls backward covered in cold sweat, looking like he has seen the Lord of Death himself. Yugugo sighs in relief at the averted crisis. At times it was very hard to hold Naruto back from killing anyone who tried to insult his only friends. Okay team, meet me and Tazuna-san at the East Gate in 3 days, dismissed, said Yugugo as Naruto leaves with the Hyuga twins following him. Yugugo turns to Tazuna while rubbing her head. I'm sorry for Naruto's behavior, you see those two girls are his only friends, so he highly overprotective of them. If you want to live till we get to Wave, I advise you right now, think before saying anything, said Yugugo as Tazuna nods in understanding while still covering in cold sweat. I have to say that boy's eyes. They scared me. It was like I looking at the Shinigami's own eye, said Tazuna with a shudder. What's more, that sword he holds, what's up with it? Why does his carry something with such a strange aura? What do you mean? Naruto always had that sword even before he entered the academy, says Irika, who recalls Naruto's first day at the academy and his sword. Tazuna just nods before leaving. Go back to the inn he was staying in. Training field. Naruto is walking toward the training ground to get some training before going to their first C-rank mission, and the Hyuga twins are with him. Hey Naruto, what are we going to train in today? Asks Hanabi. Well Hanabi, I have thought up a combination technique for the three of us, says Naruto as he drew Hades while the twins also drew their swords too. Since your swords can make flames appear by adding your chakra to the sword, so black flames appear around Hades. Don't have a name for the move yet, but I'm sure one will come with time, said Naruto while the twins build up chakra. Naruto-kun, that sounds like a great move, say Hanabi as crimson flames appear around her blade while Hinata has sapphire-colored flames appears on her sword. Let's use that wooden log as our target, says Naruto. As they about to use their attack, they hear a voice. Hey loser, fight me, calls Sasuke, who just arrived at the scene. Hinata, upset at the interruption, says, shouldn't you be with your team right now, Uchiha-san? Please stop bothering us so we can get back to training. Kakashi-sensei dismissed us, and I want a rematch against the loser here, says Sasuke, pointing at Naruto. Despite his track record, Sasuke just couldn't come to terms with the fact that Naruto is much stronger than him. Naruto pays no attention to the Uchiha. Hinata, Hanabi, let's go, we have no time with someone who's an idiot, said Naruto, who doesn't care what kind of business Sasuke has with him. Before Team 13 could leave, Sasuke decides to attack Naruto while his back was turned. He yells out, don't you walk away from me, you piece of scum. Grand Fireball Jutsu. As the fireball comes crashing down of Naruto position, Sasuke should have taken into account just how close the twin were to Naruto's person. A large explosion consumes the area as the attack hits. Feeling good about himself that he had showed the loser why he shouldn't cross an Uchiha, Sasuke walked towards the smoke as it was clearing. Looks like the Dan did a good job with my specifications. This coat is awesome, says a voice that sounded familiar to the Uchiha. Rooted in his spot from disbelief, Sasuke stared. A black mass became visible from within the cleared at smoke. The mass started moving and it turned out to be cloth, specifically the sash that wrapped across Naruto's chest and waist. Edges looked slightly scorched. Pointing at Naruto in anger, Sasuke screams, what is that thing? How did it grow so large? This is a special sash I had made to help protect me from weak attacks like yours. Moved to my will via my chakra, and repairs itself in time. Now normally I wouldn't use it for someone, but I needed to protect Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan from your careless attack, started Naruto as flames begin to erupt from Hades for putting them in unprovoked. I'll make you pay. Kujiken, Hades flames strike, Grand Fireball Jutsu, cries Sasuke. As Naruto prepared his attack, the Hyugas jumped away quickly, for they knew how strong Naruto's sword techniques could be. Naruto fires off a stream of pure black flames which overcomes Sasuke's fireball. Sasuke used the extra time to dodge, but the attack hits his left arm, leaving the Uchiha in a lot of pain. But the fire didn't spread along the appendage to his body. It just kept burning without turning his arm to ash. Sasuke screams in pain while rolling on the ground, trying to put out the black flames. Why won't this flame go away? Gah, it burns, screams the Uchiha, who's still trying to put out the flames burning his arm. Don't worry, it won't last long, just an hour or so. Not to mention I made so you wouldn't lose that arm. You should be grateful, says Naruto in a cold voice while walking out of the training field with the Hyuga twins in tow. Enraged at his humiliation, Sasuke takes out a kunai and rushes at Naruto, even with the black flames hurting him. Die, you loser, yells the Uchiha. Out of nowhere his attacking arm is caught and wrapped in a black cloth. Before he can ponder what happened, Sasuke gets a vicious punch in his stomach by Naruto. Saliva and blood burst out of Sasuke's mouth as he reflexively goes to hold his stomach with his burning arm, only to stop himself. His right arm released by Naruto's sash, allowing Sasuke to fall onto his knees in pain while cradling his stomach. The black flames disappear from his left arm again, allowing for some relief. Really, Uchiha? I always knew that you and your clan of thieves were dumb, but I didn't know you could be this stupid. Naruto-kun beats your best attack to protect us, more or less cripples you, then right when he shows a little mercy you try and stab him in the back, literally. You disgust me, says Hanabi, pointing at the barely conscious Uchiha. I don't understand why his fangirls think he's better than you, adds Hinata. Sometimes I wonder about that, too, Hanabi, said Naruto as he and the twins leave the fried and tenderized Uchiha. Half an hour later at Training Ground 15, Naruto channels his chakra into Hades while the twins are doing the same to their swords. Once they finish charging, they unleash their flames. Black, red and blue fire, intertwined and combined together, growing significantly in size before hitting a huge rock which was blown asunder by a massive explosion. That was amazing, Naruto-kun, now no one can mess with us, said the tired Hanabi, who falls down on her but from the sudden chakra drain. Hinata also tried, says, we still need to practice so we can do the attack faster. I hope we don't have too much trouble with our mission. Don't worry, Hinata-chan. If things get bad I will handle it, and protect you guys no matter what, said Naruto as he looks at the river, watching a school of fish swimming by, not noticing the severe blushes on the two girls' faces. -3 days later, West Gate of Konoha. Team 13 are waiting for their sensei to arrive with Tazuna for the mission. Wonder what's taking sensei so long? Says Hanabi, who was getting bored out of her mind. I don't know, maybe sensei is talking with someone and lost track of time, said Hinata, who coming up ideas why they sensei is late. After 15 minutes they see their Yugago finally arrives. Sorry that I late, team. I was with my boyfriend, said the blushing Yugago, because she really lost track of time. All the while Tazuna continued drinking more of his sake and sighed heavily. Okay, let's go, I have a daughter and grandson to return to. They must be worried sick about me, said Tazuna. While this was going on, Naruto stood off to the side, reading a black scroll. Then when no one is looking, he signs it with his blood, signifying it was a summoning scroll. He placed the scroll into his coat and walked alongside his teammates. Few hours later, as Team 13 walks with Tazuna, who no longer drunk as he had run out of his sake, they start talking about the village of Wave. How long does it get to the Wave anyway? Asked Hanabi, having never been to the Wave village before. Well, it would take a day to get there if we run over there, but since Tazuna isn't citizen, so it will take us 2.5 days to get over there, said Yugago, while Tazuna wished that he had more sake. Can I ask you all about him? Said Tazuna, pointing at Naruto, who was walking ahead of everyone in the group. Yugago answers to him, Naruto? Tazuna nods. Yes, I have been wondering why he seems so different from everyone else, said Tazuna. Well, that's for Naruto to say, says Yugago, while Tazuna scratches the back of his head, slightly disappointed. Fine, I'll ask him when we arrive at my house, says Tazuna as the group walks further along the trail to the Wave. Some time later, as the group walks toward the home of Tazuna the Wave, Yugago, being a former ANBU, notices not only a small puddle of water not far up the road but that it hadn't rained for weeks now. With this thought in mind, it was easy to see that it is a genjutsu. Whoever casted it failed to use the genjutsu effectively, so she took a look at her team. She was happy to see them all on alert, seeing both Hinata and Hanabi with their Byakugan active, allowing them to easily see through the illusion with their family bloodline. As for Naruto, well, still he had his leaf headband covering his eyes, but his hand was twitching towards his sword. As his team walked past the puddle, Naruto stops near the puddle and draws his sword Hades. After channeling a bit of his chakra into his sword, he swings his sword at the puddle. Kujiken. Shadow strike, says Naruto, as a black wave blasted out of the tip of Hades towards the puddle. The blast destroys the grounds, driving out 2 ninjas who disabled their illusion right before the black wave of energy hit them. Before they could take in their surroundings, both Hinata and Hanabi appear behind the Rouge ninjas and attack the Rouge ninjas' backs by using the gentle fist, which passing the 2 ninja into unconsciousness. Good job. I wanted to wait and see who their target might be, but now I will just interrogate them. For now, tie them, said Yugago. A few moments later the 2 nin wake up and struggle futilely against their bindings. These 2 are the demon brothers, Rouge ninja from village hidden in the mist. They turned rouge after failing to assassinate the Mizukage, and last time I checked they were Chunin and apparently still are, continues Yugago while reading a bingo book. The brothers continue trying to get free but stop upon seeing a sword raised to each of their necks. One's held by Hyuga twins. Don't even think about it, says Hanabi coolly as she holds her red sword. Yugago stops them. Hinata, Hanabi, stand down. I'll take care of this, says Yugago. She steps towards the brothers. Depending on your answers, this can be easy or very unpleasant for you too. I'm only going to ask this once. Who were you targeting with that little ambush of yours? Fuck you, leaf bitch. My brother and I have nothing to say to you. I see, so the unpleasant way then. Naruto, everyone protect Tazuna. I'm going to see what I can do to change our captive's mind, says Yugago as she drags the demon brothers in the forest. She didn't want her students to see what she might have to do to get this information, which by the way will be quite painful for the brothers. Before too long Yugago comes back with information as to why the 2 Rouge brothers were there. They were after them, but they were targeting a certain someone in their group and not the group as a whole. Yugago glares at Tazuna, who starts sweating. Why did you lie to the Hokage about this mission? Tell us the truth, or we'll return our village without you. Why do you have Rouge ninjas after you? Says Yugago, already thinking she would abandon this mission, leaving the old bridge builder to deal with the fruits of his deception. Tazuna fell to his knees and begged, please understand. What I did was for the sake of my home. Wave has been controlled by the shipping magnate Gato. The man is as greedy and corrupt as they come, and he's slowly killing our country. Please help us. After Tazuna finished explaining his circumstance to Team 13, they go off to the side to have a meeting about what they should do. So what are we going to do? Continue the mission or go back? I'll be honest with you guys. These guys are most likely the weakest enemy we'll have. It only gets more dangerous from here on out, says Yugago as she wants to hear what her team thinks of the situation. While the twins are contemplating what to do, Naruto walks towards Tazuna and sticks out his hand to Tazuna. Let's go. I won't give up on this mission just because you lied. I will protect you, Tazuna-san. No matter of what everyone chooses to do, I will go with you. After all, your grandson will be sad if you never return home, right? Says Naruto as Tazuna looks up at Naruto with tears of happiness in his eye. The Hyuga twins blush with the same thought running through their heads. Naruto's so cool. So even if I say we go back, you will still go with Tazuna to the wave? Asks Hyuga, who never thought of Naruto being a person the type to stick his neck out for a stranger, especially one who insulted him to begin with. That's right, I will go with Tazuna. I don't care even if the Hokage orders it, I still go. Those people need our help, responses Naruto as both Hinata and Hanabi stand by his side. Together they say, we'll go as well. We are a team after all. Their comments make Naruto smile. Thank you, Hinata-chan, Hanabi-chan, says Naruto, happy they were coming with him. Hyuga sighs, shakes her head a bit, and smiles before making a couple of shadow clones. Looks like I've been outvoted. Anyway, what kind of sensei would I be to leave you guys with this mission? You two head back to the village with the prisoners. Report to Hokage-sama and ask for backup, says Hyuga. The two shadow clones salute and say, yes ma'am. Taking off to the Demon Brothers location before heading back to Konoha. Okay team, we wait for our backup, then we can go further. For now, let's set up camp, says Hyuga. Time skip the next morning near the border of Wave Country. Team 13 is walking towards Wave again. With them is their backup, Team 8, made up of Kiba, Shino, and Akumi. Kiba seemed to have changed quite a bit since the academy. First opportunity he got, he walked up to Naruto and said, Naruto, look, after a lot of thinking, I realized that I was being a complete asshole and jerk back at the academy. I'm not asking for forgiveness, but I am sorry. I've given up on Hinata, if that makes you feel any better? Said Kiba, shocking both the Hyuga. They quickly talked to Team 8's sensei Kurenai. Kurenai-sensei, what did you do with Kiba anyway? Said Hanabi, looking at the red-eyed beauty, who smiled upon hearing the question. Well, let's just say he learned his lesson the hard way, said the Genjutsu mistress, who is laughing evilly remembering what she did to Kiba after forming Team 8. Kurenai's laugh scares everyone around her, making them take a few steps back. Kiba, upon hearing his sensei's evil laugh, turns very pale, and Naruto gets the hint. I see. She must be a nightmare for sensei to have, right, Kiba? Anyway, I forgive you. I believe you've suffered enough punishment and learned from your mistakes, says Naruto, who somewhat pities Kiba. Thanks, Naruto. You don't know what I had to go through, man. It was terrible, said Kiba, who's still pale and shaking a little due to his sensei's cackling. Team 8 is using a small boat to get across the river to the other side while trying not to make any sounds. Wow, I have to say, old man, that an impressive bridge you built, whispers Kiba. Shino nods in agreement. Indeed it is, and Team 8's last member remained silent. I know this by far the greatest bridge I've ever built, and it's my final one after this bridge is done and my country freed. I'm going to retire, said Tazuna, who looked forward to his retirement days. Next to the boat, our Team 13 was walking on water. How come you guys are walking on water? Asked Kiba, feeling a bit of jealousy at Team 13's ability because he, Shino and Azumi hadn't even started tree walking yet. Team 13 ahead of them, and Azumi is looking at Naruto with heart-shaped eyes. Wow, that's so cool, said Azumi, but gets an evil look from both Hinata and Hanabi, which scared her half to death. She decides for her safety to be quiet for a while. Then the man who's rowing the boat hushes them. Quiet down, we don't want Gato's man hearing us. The whole reason we're using this morning mist to hide our movements with that the boat ride remains a quiet one until they get to land. Thank you for doing this. I know it's a lot trouble, but don't worry, as soon as I finish this bridge you won't have to fear Gato even again, says Tazuna confidently, while the man nods and rows back to the other side. As the group walking toward Tazuna's house, Tazuna's expression brightens at the thought seeing his daughter and grandson who would be waiting for his return. We are almost there, everyone. Just before Tazuna could never finish his statement because Azumi notices something moving around the bushes and throws a kunai. She did this because she thought that it might be an enemy, and she was trying to prove herself to Team 8 and make her sensei proud of her. Shino checks the bushes and only to find scared White Bunny, which runs toward Naruto instinctually sensing safety. Both Hyuga and Kurenai notice that Bunny's fur coat is white, which would be characteristic of a winter coat, which means this bunny must have been raised indoors. Sensing an incoming attack, Hyuga yells, "Everyone duck now!" Everyone but Naruto ducks down while a huge sword comes flying out from behind them and spins around Naruto without even cutting a piece of Naruto's hair and lodges in a tree. Then a man appears, standing on the sword's handle while glaring at them with thin, menacing black eyes. Kiba was the first to speak up. "Who the hell are you?" says Kiba, shaking because of the pressure of the man's massive killer intent. The man ignores Kiba's question and says, "Hand over the old man, and no one will have to die." Naruto, who has the scared bunny in his left arm, glares back at the man and unleashes a killer instinct surpassing even that of the mystery man. So you a want fight, boy? Well, you got one, said the man who pulls his huge sword out of the tree, spring off the tree towards the two teams. Cliffhanger no jutsu. So what's going to happen next? Find out in the next chapter of Death Upon God Hades. As always, reviews are highly appreciated. See why later. Chapter 5. Halloween Special. Halloween Special. Enjoy. Death Upon God's Hades. Make Halloween Special. It's October 31st on Konoha, which means it's Halloween Day. Here we found the Hyuga twins at the meeting spot in their costumes. Hinata is dressed as an angel, while Hanabi, well, what do you think, Hinata? This year I dress as a witch, said Hanabi, who wearing a witch costumes, but it hugs her figures, which making her a sexy witch in way. Well, it nice, Hanabi said. Hinata who a angel costume, but it fits her bit tight though. I wonder what Naruto dress up as, said Hanabi, who wondering of what costume is Naruto going to wear. But even though he never did it before, Hanabi, I thought you knew that Naruto never wears a costume at Halloween, said Hinata, who speaks the truth. Well, you can't blame me for trying, cause you never know, he might this year, said Hanabi, while Yago arrive there in a cat costume. Both Hinata and Hanabi haven't noticed they sensei arriving as they argue about something that she has no clue of what it's about. All well, is this something? And where Naruto? Isn't he be here by now? Said Yago, who asking no one since the twins are still arguing. Somewhere at the village with Naruto. Naruto is walking toward the meeting spot where his teammates and sensei are waiting at. While he walking, he see that it's that time of year again, so it's Halloween once again. I never know why everyone does this. Put on some costume and sniff, said Naruto. In truth, he never actually experienced trick or treat when he was younger. The fact is that he always trained, so he doesn't. Just how fun is it? Any people walk past him in many costumes, some are scary, others are funny, and few are weird. It's all for a good fun for everyone. But Naruto, well, enough fooling around, everyone are waiting for me, said Naruto as he disappears. Upon arriving at the meeting spot, Naruto spotted his teammates and sensei, but he see that both Hinata and Hanabi are arguing about something while Yuego is just waiting for the twins to stop. Oh Naruto, you're late, what take you? Said Yuego, who's still in her cat costume, and she see that Naruto isn't wearing any costume, so she asked him about that. Naruto, why aren't you wear any costume? It's Halloween, you know, said Yuego, and Naruto said back, I know that it's Halloween, is that I never wear a costume or do this trick or treat to me. It's foolish, said Naruto, and their words strike Yuga right in her heart. Then out of nowhere Yago starts shaking the dark-haired boy like crazy. Are you sick in the head, Naruto? Are you mad, boy? Come with me, I will see you the joy of Halloween, said Yuego, who dragging Naruto, while both Hinata and Hanabi stop arguing and notice that Naruto is being dragged by their sensei, and runs after them. Wait for us, said the twins as they catching up to them. Half hour later, Yago had tried her very best to show Naruto of what he has been missing, but it failed badly. Damn, who know this would be so hard to show a teen who never tricked before and as well put on a costume, said Yago, who very close to giving up, but then that given her idea, but she needed some help for this idea to work. Already team met me at the tower for a mission within an hour, said Yago, who disappeared, leaving her team confused. What was that about? Said Hanabi, as she and Hinata has no clue of what just happened. They thought that they sensei was showing Naruto the joy of Halloween, then asked them to meet with her within an hour. Me too anyway, say Naruto, what do you think of our costumes? Said Hinata as she asking Naruto's opinion about the costumes, and Naruto said, well, if I have to say, your costumes really does fit you two very well, said Naruto, who not noticing. They blushed. Thank you, Naruto, said the twins, who are blushing. Meanwhile at the Hokage Tower. So let me get this straight, you wanted a mission just to show Naruto the joy of Halloween? Said the third Hokage, who really couldn't believe, and he's wearing a monkey costumes as well with everyone else in the room. Please Lord Hokage, we have to do this, think about it. If we do this, then he finally see of what he has been missing, said Yuego, while Uruk, who wearing a dolphin costume? And okay, I wasn't really thinking about this, or that I finally gone completely mad? Please leave a review if you think that I gone mad or not. Uruk come up to the third she right, Lord Hokage, back then Naruto never wears a costume and never went get candy. At first I thought he was shy, but that changed year later, so please make this mission happen and then Naruto can finally the light of Halloween, said Uruk, while a holy light shine upon, and everyone else are wondering where the heck does this light coming from? And yep, I gone completely mad here. After hearing that and see the holy light, the monkey Hokage decides make this mission official. Very well, you have your mission, Yuego, but just promise this thought. Make sure that Naruto has the greatest Halloween ever, said Hokage as everyone yelled out yes sir and starts getting things ready. An hour later, Team 13 come to the tower to meet the sensei, who come up to him. Goods everyone, we have a mission, and it's D rank mission, said Yuego, while Hanabi gets mad but asked anyway, what kind of mission? Said Hanabi, and Yuego, well, we all going to trick or treat, said Yuego, which makes Team 13 confused about that, huh? Mission about us going trick or treat? Sound good, said Hanabi, who for once is glad that it's not of here pain in the neck kinds of missions, and Hinata is glad too, but for Naruto. Well, do I really to do this? I just found it a wash of time, said Naruto, who doesn't know about this mission. They have too bad, Naruto, we have to, and we can't turn it down, so let's start, but first let's get you a costume. Naruto Hyuga, who once again drags Naruto toward the nearest store that sell costumes while the twins followed, and Naruto said, I don't know what's going on anymore, said the really confused dark-haired boy. At the store, they have been choosing costumes for Naruto to wear for a while now. How about this? Said Naruto, who chased the orange jumpsuit, which is really horrible, and his teammates, and Sensei make a X with the arms. Know why it doesn't go well with you, said Hanabi. So Naruto change again and come out with a different costume, which is a lizard suit. This one, said Naruto, while someone in the background yelled out while pointing at Naruto. Godzilla then runs out of the store for his life. Ah, okay, that was wired, said Hanabi, while everyone agrees to that. Once again Naruto changed costume, and this time he's wearing a Kung Fu Master costume. This one, said Naruto, who put on fake white mustache. Well, you look like our great-grandfather, Naruto, said Hinata, while the costume that Naruto is wearing reminds both her and Hanabi of the great-grandfather. He does look like him. Okay, that just too Frankie, said Hanabi, and so Naruto changed once more. After two hours of choosing the right costume, finally Naruto is costume of a slash, and I don't know of what you called them. You know, the clothes that the Shinigami wear from Bleach. And a white mask with red lines. Prefect, that really does fit you well, said the twins, while Yago nods to that. Yes, it does, and off we go, said Yago, as her and Team 13 went off to do their mission. Now it has been hours now since Team 13's mission started, and they have gotten candy from every house they've been to but for one, which is the haunted house that resides outside of Konoha, and so they go there but stop only about 59 miles away from it. Here we are, that last house be, but this house haunted by ghosts, said Hanabi, who's scared, and she holding on to Naruto's right arm, and goes for same to Hinata, who holding Naruto's left arm. Naruto, who doesn't seem afraid at nothing to me, so let's go, said Naruto, who seemed excited about this, and twins never see Naruto excited about anything, you know, Hanabi. I think that Naruto is having fun, said Hinata, who happy to see Naruto like this, and Hanabi agrees to that. As Naruto walking closer to the house, inside of the house are full of a few jounins and chunins who are putting costumes that you would see on movies and sniff places. People, they almost here get ready, said Kakashi, who dressed as a one-eye monster, as everyone getting into their position and played the waiting game. Naruto with the Hyuga twins behind him as he opening the door slowly, which makes that creepy sound. Hello? Is anyway there? We are trick or tracker, said Hanabi, who's really scared and trying to not show it. Well, it's no one here. Let's check it out, said Naruto, who walks inside, and the twins catch up. Wait up, Naruto, said the twins, as they don't to be alone in a haunted house. As Team 13 looking around the house, both Hinata and Hanabi are behind of Naruto, who doesn't not scared, so they keep moving until they hear something fall down hard, which makes the twins scream in fear and hold on to Naruto as he turned to see a broken lump by a black cat that hisses and jumps away. Naruto tries to climb the twins down. It's already girls, it's just a cat, said Naruto, as both Hinata and Hanabi climb down. What happened, Naruto? Said Hinata, and Naruto answered back, it was a cat that bump a lump caused it to fall and break, said Naruto, as he explained to them of what happened. After a while, Team 13 has looked every part of the house but the master bedroom. This is the only place we haven't checked, so let's open it, said Naruto, who about to open the door, but then no, wait, Naruto, please don't open it, said Hinata, who getting really scared cause though out the thing. Both her and Hanabi gotten scared in one spot after other like a spider. Get on Hanabi's head. Hinata found a rat in her costume, shakes falling down on them and bats flying past them and many things. Naruto looks at his teammates. Very well, let's go back to village, said Naruto, and right before they leave the bedroom opens on its own and behind it was a ghost, and so Hinata, Hanabi and even Naruto turned very pale, and the ghost did this, get out of here or else I will do this, to change into a scary monster, which makes Team 13 screams out of their very life and they run for it, and the ghost/monster case after them. As Team 13 are running for their lives, someone get out of the closet, which is Kurenai, who casted the genjutsu that made the ghost real. This is Kurenai. They are on the move and they heading your Kakashi, and make sure you get them a good scare that they will never forget, said Kurenai as she talking to everyone though the radio rouge that Kurenai said. Kakashi, at the living room. Team 13 get in the living room and hoping that they lose the ghost. What was that? I never felt this way before, said Naruto, who never felt scared before in his life. That was a ghost, Naruto. And what you're feeling is feared, said Hanabi, who's very scared right now, while Hinata is holding her chest where her heart is. And before they could catch their breath, they heard stomping noise that heading toward, and they see a monster with one eye roars, and they turn pale again, so they scream while running for their life again. As Team 13 run out of the living room, the one-eye monster stops and take off the mask. Well, that was run. Now I will return reading my book. Pull out his book and starts reading it. Where was I? Oh right, said Kakashi as he giggled. Team 13 has run every part in the house but keeps running into monsters, vampires, werewolves and others until they at the entered of the house. I want to go home, let's get out here, and we won't speak of this again, said Hana. Bye, and Hinata agrees, yes, let's hurry. Before they will come here, said Hyanta while Naruto opens the door, but it won't open. It's and not opening, said Naruto, scaring the twins while the monsters getting closer to them. Team 13 getting more scared and holding each other closer while the monsters getting close until they start laughing, which make Team 13 confused. Then they realize that when they take off their mask showing who they are, and they sensei appeared. We get you so bad, said Yuego, who laughing at her genuine team as the other Jounins and Shinyan joins in to laugh. What's going on here? Said Naruto, who doesn't get it at all. Well, the mission we get hasn't really mission I set up to show just how much fun is Halloween, said Yuego, who wanted to see if Naruto learned something this night. Which he did, as he tells his sensei of what he have learned. Then they notice that one of them still has his mask on. Hey, you can take it off now, it's all over, said Chunin as he talking to a person in a ghost costume. But wait, there are only 50 of us, not 51, said Yago, as she and everyone wondering who is this person. Then Naruto walks up to him thinking that is other Halloween joke. Come on now, you're playing with me again, so let's take it off. And as he take the mask off, but he hand move, thought him see it is, said Naruto, who getting super pale now. He's a real ghost, isn't he? Said Naruto while everyone nods. Oh, then run, yelled as he and everyone run out of the house cause of the ghost. But then the ghost fake away, and taking out of one of the rooms was Hiruzen, the third Hokage, who just pulled the greatest puck ever. Ha 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 ha, oh how I love Halloween, said the third as he heads back to his office, and upon closing it see a true really ghost come up from the ground. Oh, was with all the screaming? Can a ghost sleep for once? Said the sleepy ghost as he wonders what was going on when he was asleep. That's end this Halloween special chapter, so good night, and happy Halloween. See why later. What if Naruto was summoned by the death god Shinigami in Bleach? Thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.